What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Two Guys, One Gamepad, episode 14. I am Rahgel, here with my sexy co-host, Rahgel Sig.
I'm sexy.
We have
So sexy.
How's everything been going?
Everything's been going good. Good. Some jackwagon, for lack of a better word, said we're gonna do this hot chip, one chip shit. So had to go buy one.
Yes, it's time to do it. At some point.
At some point, yep. It'll turn out tongue blue. But yeah.
Yeah, that's the part I don't like. I don't like the whole blue tongue thing.
I don't understand the appeal to it.
I don't look like a blue Smurf.
You're gonna look like you blue Smurf. It's okay. It's blue number 1. And those of you who are
yellow number 5.
I don't know. Different numbers probably mean different things. Either way, what have you been up to?
Nothing since what our last podcast was. Did we do it last week? Was it last week you did it?
Yeah.
We're so consistent now.
So inconsistently consistent. We're working on it. I promise y'all.
Nothing. I haven't been able to stream. I haven't gotten back to my Colts, so they're probably all dead.
I bought that.
You did?
Yeah.
Did you try it?
I played like 30 minutes of it. I didn't get too far into it. So
What did you think of it?
it's enjoyable so far. Cult of the Lambs, by the way, is the game we're talking about. It's enjoyable so far, but I plan on trying to stream it Wednesday.
Okay.
Hopefully. We'll see. I don't really know. It again, my stream schedule Monday through Friday is non-existent. But if I get the chance, my kid is well behaved and actually takes his bloody freaking nap, and my other kids at school, then I can kind of stream. But I'm also working on websites, and I told you and those who are listening, we just officially launched our website for Two Guys One Gamepad. So just go to twoguys1gamepad.com, and I'm trying to get that all set up so where we have a landing page, there's an about section, and then everything we talk about on podcast between you and I, we can start posting up there and doing other stuff on that website. So my free times are Saturday and Sunday, 12 to 3.
12 to 3? Big 3-hour windows.
Yeah.
So how many minions or followers or whatever do you have within your cult now?
I think I only have like 5 or 10. I'm not like I said, I'm dicking around.
5 or 10.
I'm dicking around. I haven't I literally just hopped into it. I was like, okay, what? Controls. Okay. Yeah. Cool. He's crying. Let me go.
But you see, that's a game you can probably easily lose hours upon hours in.
Oh yeah.
Because of how much stuff you can do in it.
Well, like we were saying last podcast, or last episode, the Don't Starve together, which is what's very similar graphical wise. It's very similar game style too, where it's just one of those you can get just full on lost into it. And honestly, if my kid didn't cry, I probably would have did so much more of it. But it's captivating, but not in a traditional way. It's captivating in a what the hell type thing is going on. Yeah, and you're just like, do I want to keep doing this?
Yes, I do.
But at the same time, I'm enthralled with it. I've enjoyed the whopping 30 minutes I played of it, and it's just one of those things that it's like, all right, I gotta add this to my play constantly list. So I gotta work that into my rotation somehow between. Well, really just Destiny 2 right now. So
it's just a different style game. It's fun. I enjoy it.
It's so fun. But that's that's what I like about this type of games is the fact that they're drastically different.
Yes.
It deserves its own category in of itself. It should not be a survival game. It should not be considered a horror game. But it's just one of those it's so weird, and the graphics alone are truly amazing. But they're not like when most people think of graphics, they're like, oh my god, Call of Duty has all these fantastic graphics on their weapons. Look at the clarity of that trigger. Look at Apex futuristic weapons. Look at Splitgate, Fortnite, whatever. It all has amazing graphics. But then when you go to this type of game, it's cartoon slash anime slash old school freehand. Like it's a weird design, and it's just like, all right,
It's very simplistic and yes.
it's eye catching. I mean, it's one of those like it's not super heavy on your eyes.
No.
So
And the music is kind of soothing in a way too. They
yeah.
kind of just you can just enjoy it. It doesn't really it's not annoying music at all.
Oh, like every other fucking game.
Yes.
So, but I mean,
I don't know,
it's fun. I definitely want to stream it, but got to find the time. And by that I mean got to get my kid to take a fucking nap.
yeah.
That's a struggle.
They'll do that at times where they don't want to sleep. They want to just hang out and
Unless
suck
it's,
every press, life out of you.
unless it's a rainy day, like we had a massive storm come through here Sunday,
Uh-huh.
Saturday maybe, this weekend, and literally that dude went down for a nap at noon, and I had to pull his ass out of his crib at 4 o'clock because I was like, dude, you're going to bed in like 4 hours for the night. You need to wake up. Let's go. And even then, he fell asleep in the recliner. And I was like, fucking Christ.
What do I do with you?
It's like, fine. And he went to bed on time, no issue, and just zonked out. Like stormy weather. He's out. He's like, whatever, it's cool. It's chill.
I'm the same way. Yeah.
So,
You put me in bed with nothing else but rain. I'm falling asleep too.
I'm
Yes, sir.
I'm that retard that's like, what can I do out in the rain? Oh, tornado? Okay. What car am I taking? No, that car doesn't have enough horsepower to outrun it. Damn.
I have a new podcast mug too.
What? Man of Steel? Okay. I was trying to figure out what that was because I was like, that looks just like a tiki man.
It's a tiki mug. I have another one too. Well, like Elf, the Will Ferrell one.
Okay.
I have one of him. See, I got this one. I'm drinking something different. I got a growler from a Minnesota brewing company, Moose Lake, and I don't want to look like a gigantic toddler. So this growler is gigantic.
Like a 40.
See, I took one drink out. I was like, "This is too big to drink out of.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look like a fool."
I was gonna ask you what you were drinking because I saw you lift it up. I was like, "Damn, that's a huge fucking can."
It's
What
not.
is-
That's why I put it in the glass. So like, I have to have a glass enter somewhere.
It's okay.
But
I'm just over here.
it's
drinking
weird though. It's a bombsicle hard seltzer.
Oh, that sounds good.
I was worried that was gonna be like overly sweet, and it's not that bad. I figured it was something you would like though.
Yeah, if it's here, I mean, we have 4 different states. We do local breweries at Hy-Vee, so I'm sure if they don't have it, I can get a hold of it from them or from the liquor store since they're really good at importing from other states.
Moose Lake Brewing Company is the name of that one.
Where's my
Happy Water Bombsicle Hard Seltzer? It's not bad.
Someone took my freaking pen.
It's not bad at all though. Like I said, not overly sweet, but enjoyable. So, other than Cult of the Lamb, have you played anything else? Or you just been on that one?
Destiny 2. Lots of Destiny 2.
Okay. When's that DLC come out? Is that next year? I think we talked about last.
February 28th, 2023.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
yeah, it's coming out. I mean, in terms of video games, it's coming out in a long time, but relatively soon.
So, did you see who came back on? Was it Raw?
Braun Strowman? Yeah.
Yes.
Wait, this past, like, yesterday, this Monday?
No, I didn't
or
watch
last
yesterday.
week? Okay.
It was last week. So,
I was like, I've 30
seen
minutes into it, so no, I have not.
No, I haven't seen. No, I have not that one. But I was looking online today and saw some things as far as who could feud with the Bloodline, and it went back to bringing Bray Wyatt back,
Yeah, seen that.
Rowan, and then Strowman as well, and then breaking up the unified titles. One SmackDown, one Raw.
But they have to. Like, that's a non-negotiable. USA Network is
Hmm.
is quite, let's just say, upset was the word they use. They're very frustrated that one, Reigns has the champions for so long, the championships for so long, and the fact that he barely comes on Monday Night Raw. He is always on SmackDown, like, well, not always, but like 95% of his time he's on SmackDown. The other 3% he's on freaking vacation or leave or elsewhere, and maybe he makes an appearance on Raw randomly. But he doesn't ever fight. It's just him like, I'm gonna take Drew McIntyre down at Clash of Castle. I'm gonna take down Brock Lesnar. So like, he doesn't
No,
do anything on Raw.
I didn't watch much of the Clash of the Castle. It seemed like a very lackluster card, and the match between him and Drew McIntyre, from what I saw, didn't seem too entertaining or fun to watch.
No,
So
it was a the whole thing was a letdown. It had the card at face value looked like it could have been great, especially like Riddles versus Rollins. That should have been so epic, and they should have let Riddle win that match to continue the feud. But instead, Riddle's just getting owned left and right by Rollins, and it's to me it comes across very much like they're destroying Riddle. So trying to see what Triple H is going to do with this whole story, or if they're just going to kill it off. Since now, uh, what I saw from this Monday Night's Raw was Judgment Day extended an offer for him to join, and he denied it because he wants to go after Rollins again. Um, so maybe there's a feud there. I don't know. But then you had Sheamus versus Gunther. That should have been a smash. I mean, it was a good match,
mhm.
but it should have been one that Sheamus should have walked away, or Gunther should have got a dirty win. So where like it explains why Sheamus got screwed over in his home country. I mean, it's not his country, but area type thing. Uh, and then the triple team tag match between uh, Bailey's team and um, Belair's team. That was a disappointment on how they had to triple team her. Just the card, like I said, the card at face value looked great. They had stories set up for it, but they the way it's perceived, even by like majority of people who watch it, was just it's piss poor because Drew McIntyre and Sheamus should have won. They were in,
The
yeah,
hometown boys. Yeah.
yeah, and they didn't win. And it's not even
Hmm.
like, yes, Reigns got a dirty win over with Solo Sika coming over and appearing, but even then, they should have let him. They should have let McIntyre win, even if he won a dirty way. Let him win, and then take it away from him. But from everything I'm reading online, it's still very heavy on. Well, Reigns is gonna face The Rock at WrestleMania because it's in Hollywood this year. It's like, why? Like Reigns had, and correct me if you feel different, but Reigns has catapulted himself so high above the top card that he is the face of the company, which means he doesn't need to have the title to be relevant anymore. He doesn't need to have the title to have these big matches. But it almost
I
seems like WWE can't trust him in that capacity like they could with John Cena or The Rock or Austin or really any of the bigger guys. It's just Reigns has to have that title is the only thing that seems to make him important and valuable to the company. Otherwise, he's just
he's not the charismatic style of champion that they are used to of John Cena, The Rock. I mean, he's not a Stone Cold either. He's a heel champion, but he's not.
but Orton's a
Uh,
better heel champion than Reigns is.
yes, for sure.
Like
Orton hands down
Rollins,
is
Rollins is a better heel champ. Like there's so many better ones.
yeah.
He's at most he's at most a mid tier heel character.
That's why I think if you take the title from him, he'll fade.
But here,
He's being forced so much down your throat now
oh yeah, so much. But like,
with the title reign and everything else. I
Miz
mean,
is a
good on him
better
for being
heel.
able to do it. Yeah,
Bobby,
but I don't see him. Say the whole thing with Bray Wyatt comes up, and Bray Wyatt comes in, breaks up the unified titles, and then the Wyatt family or like that they take it from the Usos. But
but who would be a part of the Wyatt family now? because you have Strowman and Wyatt. I don't see Eric Redbeer switching over from AEW or Impact
That's
or
what was
New
rumored
Japan.
was him to come back. Yeah, it was him supposed to come back and be that. But again, this is all fan made stuff that,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
was seeing. Um, but if you wanted to throw somebody else in there, that would be a tag team champion with Strowman. I mean, you could almost have your pick of people.
I I would like to
I
see
don't know.
a a high flyer type character with Strowman being the tall beast that he is. If they
So you
had
want like a
just a high flyer, somebody
so you want like
who's
a Kane Xbox style,
yeah, yeah, kind of.
which would work, but I don't know who that would be. I mean,
That's
Riddle.
no,
He's not, I mean, he's not a high flyer, but
no.
I mean, you're
It
not going to get Ray in there. You're not going to get the sub Dominic
no. That's
Mysterio.
yeah. That's the thing. Like Finn Balor would have made perfect sense to partner with Wyatt because you have the Demon
Yeah.
and the Fiend. I did see a rumor. Speaking of the Fiend, or not the Fiend, sorry, the Demon King. I saw a rumor that that's a possible like Bray Wyatt comes in, takes over the Judgment Day because he's the Fiend, and then you have the Fiend, the Demon Prince. You have the Reckoning, or uh, whoever fucking Priest's fucking character is, and then Rhea Ripley. You have all of theirs. You have the Executioner and the Judge and all that. That would make a perfect sense to pull in. But I don't want to see Braun Strowman go into a faction. I don't. He has the potential, especially him on the indie circuits and doing his own stuff on control your own narrative. Like he has the very much potential to do a solo run, a proper solo run, not a last minute oh shit run like he had as the Universal Champion where he beat Goldberg. Like
So
he,
what I don't like is when they get these. He in my opinion would be another Brock Lesnar, an unstoppable force that will be nothing but a champion or fighting for the championship
yeah,
over and over in every pay per view, becomes boring. Like Brock Lesnar was overused. Roman
oh
Reigns, Brock Lesnar was overused. It got very, very repetitive, very, very annoying. The last match that they had, where he had the tractor and all that stuff, that was funny and enjoyable at the same time. That match was really good, I thought. But like going forward, if they use Strowman in that capacity, it's like you're taking something that you've already done and now repackage it and then
yeah.
Strowman.
Well, he needs like they keep calling him the monster among men, but they don't have him do anything monstrous. I guess like
No.
you had Kane, who was the big red monster,
Yeah.
and he had brimstone fire. He did all these cool things, and he partnered up with the Dead Man Undertaker. And he was truly like a wrecking force. Granted, his later years, his final years, he was kind of made into a spoof of himself, from the Business Kane to uh, Hell No with Daniel Bryan. Like, while he did well in those positions, he should have been repackaged as something other than Kane. Whereas when he first started up with going head to head with Undertaker and that whole storyline and so much more, he was truly a beast. Like he was hard to pin, he was hard to defeat. He always had good storylines, and they need to do that with not only Braun Strowman but Omos too, who's also this gigantic fucker of a human, and like they're Omos has not been utilized in months. I guess
He
he was
probably
on.
he's probably going to be cut soon. That
Uh,
was one of Vince's guys.
he was. I saw something that he was on Monday Night Raw this week. I don't know what in capacity, but I saw a clip of him in the ring entering, and he looked like he got skinnier or more fit. So um, maybe he's gonna go toe to toe with Braun Strowman. That would make the best logic at right now, since Braun Strowman is feuding with Alpha Academy, just destroying them 2 days or 2 episodes in a row, 3 episodes in a row, whatever it is now. Like to have those two giants go toe to toe is only logical to see who's the superior beast. But I mean, there's not
He's
a
got a body type like the Giant Gonzalez or whatever. He wore like the almost like the Bigfoot style.
oh yeah, Gonzalez.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's just big and clunky like him, and that's one guy that Undertaker quoted for almost ruining his entire
Yeah.
career with going against him. So
But
that's just who he reminds me of.
oh no, I mean, I can't argue that. And like I saw something, it made perfect sense. I think Brock Lesnar was even he's even made mention of this too, where there's certain big guys who, if you're a wrestler that size, you either have a set of like 5 moves, and that's all you do, and
Yeah,
then your finisher and your special attack basically, uh, and that's it. And then you have other ones who are truly gifted, like the Undertaker, Kane, even Braun Strowman was thrown in there, and you just have these big people, these big wrestlers who can actually fly, who can actually get on the top rope, who can move, who's agile, and it's a whole night. Like those are class A wrestlers, and unfortunately, Omos is very much the first one where he has 5, 6 moves,
yeah.
and it's like it's boring to watch. Like you, or at least myself, I can't root for him, but I can't be against him either. Like at least with and Miz is not a big guy, but using him as a focus for this example because you like the Miz, I
Mhm.
like to hate the Miz
He's
because
easily hateable.
yeah, but he's somebody like if the Miz is in a IC title match, US title match, whatever title match, instantly will garner my attention. Be like, don't let him win. Ah, damn it, I can let him win. All right, now I gotta see who dethrones him. I will be like glued to that storyline. Whereas like Omos just he's not fast, he's not agile, he's nothing but 5 moves. And he's just boring
No,
to watch
yep.
and he's just one of those like I scrubbed the video. I was like, "Oh, I didn't miss anything." He threw somebody across the ring. Oh, okay, cool. Oh,
Yep.
he chokeslammed them. Woo! What a big guy move. Like it's just not fun. Not enjoyable.
No, it's not. And then you look at it now, like there's not a whole lot of big guys there. Like back then, like you could have your like right now you have the whole Brock Lesnar thing or Strowman now. Back then you had Undertaker, Kane, but Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Stone Cold, all those guys could go toe to toe. The Rock could all go toe to toe with each other and make it a great match.
Because the chemistry was there. Like there was
Exactly.
legitimate chemistry. And I hope not for the sake of him losing his job. I don't want anybody to lose their job. But in the world of entertainment, especially WWE, Omos is not entertaining. He's not enjoyable to
No.
watch. So if he does get cut, it's not one of those like, oh no, a big impact to the roster. Cool. Okay. Whatever type thing. Um, that or they need to send him back to NXT and let him do a lot of development over the next 2 years and just because he should have the potential like Braun Strowman to go and just be a powerhouse, but he's too clunky, he's too slow. There's nothing there. He can't talk on the mic. He's not good with a mic
No.
skill, which I get is why they have MVP with him, but he's not good on the mic. Braun Strowman is. So I mean there's really nothing there for him to do. And he should never carry a title for a few years. So
No. And I don't think he ever will. I really don't see him. Then put him because you put a title on him, then you have to have MVP be his mouthpiece.
yep.
Like Paul Heyman is for Brock Lesnar or Roman Reigns.
That's a whole night and day difference. So like when Paul Heyman's on the mic, he does a damn good job of it. Like he's
Mhm.
captivating. Again, easy
Yes.
to hate or dislike. When MVP's on the mic, and I'm not saying this to like knock him or anything because he's a very fucking educated guy. But that's kind of where my issue is he talks at a higher intelligible level, intel level, there we go, than his like who he's representing. So Omos, again, no offense to the guy, sure he's great, but he comes across not too bright. And then you have MVP who's using very big words, very big vocabulary, and like he sounds incredibly smart and intelligent, and you're like, why the fuck is this guy representing Omos? It doesn't make sense. And I get like counter count checks and balances, but that's not the person. People like Omos should be represented by somebody who's like Paul Heyman, who's really good on the mic. He can be super intelligent, but he also keeps everything at like a fifth grade reading level for the audience. So where everything that is spewed out his mouth, you fully understand. MVP, you're like, you're annoying. Shut up. Oh yeah, nope, shut up.
Yeah, I mean, and you're gonna have those managers like that you just absolutely despise because I think that's how MVP is too. The guy's been around for so long, he knows how to play play the card of heel or babyface and stuff like that. And being the manager part now, I think he can play it. But I mean, you're absolutely right. If he's trying to up talk or talk up almost whatever Omos
Yep.
in a manner of like no, like you need to stop talking and just talk normal so people understand what the hell you're saying.
Yeah. Like he was a fantastic manager for Bobby Lashley. That made perfect sense. They actually have history together. Like it made sense. And it made sense when they had their faction with Bobby Lashley, Shelton Benjamin, and the other guy. Clearly Cedric, there we go.
Yeah.
And like that all made sense because they all four of them matched each other's energy and overall persona very well. There was a very good chemistry there. And then when they stripped Bobby Lashley of MVP and moved him over to Omos, there was no connection there. And then the fact that MVP, granted this is Vince McMahon era still when this happened, and he's like, Omos is gonna be this champion. Omos is this beast. Blah 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 blah. He's literally on the same level as Dominic Mysterio,
Yeah.
and Dominic barely beats him out, and that's just because Dominic can do a little bit of top rope action. But even then, both of them need to be in the developmental brand and just full on 6 months of proper training, mic skill, and just so much work needs to be done.
I mean, again, somebody else being forced down your throat is Dominic. I don't like what they're doing with him. I was hoping he was going to try and go for the whole, which I guess he still can, Eddie Guerrero style of lie, cheat, and steal, but I don't see it happening. I guess they're comparing what he is now to what Eddie and China were
But that's kind of
back
my.
when they had that.
But again, to piggyback off what you said earlier about like Braun Strowman being like Brock Lesnar, and that just being repetitive,
Yeah.
they need to like, especially in today's day and era, where there's more censorship going on versus when like China and Eddie were around, and you could do a lot more things. Like if you all don't remember that couple or that faction, or even Edge and Lita, how things just got a little too R. Um, can't really do that so much, but at the same time, they're teetering that with Rhea Ripley, and she does a very good job of very much BDSM type gameplay going on, where she is the master and he is her submissive. Like perfect, it works. But the problem I haven't seen the Edge versus Dominic match from Monday night, but Rhea should not have to carry him. And I feel like that's what's going to happen is Judgment Day is going to carry him. And Judgment Day right now is also on that point of like, they're not
Are
great.
you legit or not?
Yeah. Like if somebody's going to take on the bloodline, that's who it should be, is have Judgment Day, who's also a big faction. It's three guys and a girl. And you have Bloodline, which is just four dudes, sausage fest, whatever. But like that would make perfect sense to split the title off of Reigns, is to just let Finn Balor get the win because he's the leader, and have him get the win, and then Finn loses it to somebody else, maybe Theory on cash in, whatever. but that would make the best sense since you have these two big factions growing. Bloodlines well established makes sense because it's family, legitimately family. And you have this Judgment Day who's like rejects. And it really is the rejects of Finn Balor should have been a top tier star inside WWE.
He's been misused.
Oh,
Misused like crazy.
He's been abused like crazy. And then you have Damian Priest. Again, he's a big dude too. Like he's not Braun Strowman big, but he's a big dude too.
He is,
and
yes.
He's agile, he's quick, he's has great moves, he has high abilities. But again, Vince McMahon just kind of abused him and didn't do shit with him. Rhea Ripley, again, powerhouse in NXT, amazing performer. She has all the skill set. She's a little bit on the edgy side. She's not a little bit. She's full on edgy side.
Yeah, she is.
Like it makes perfect sense that all three of these are they've just been the rejects of Vince McMahon, calling them up to Monday Night Raw or SmackDown. Mm-hmm. So that would almost make the most sense to pair those two, the rejects with the lineage, basically, because you got the Fatu family over there, and Reigns' father, I forget his name, but it makes sense. The well-established Samoan dynasty versus these hodgepodge indie guys. Because they're all indie wrestlers and they're amazing on the indie circuit.
There's a current Fatu wrestling right now, isn't there?
Solo Sika.
No, but he goes by Fatu. I thought there's another one.
Oh, somebody on the indie circuit, not WWE.
Okay, I thought I saw, and it might have been somewhere on Facebook where I saw a Fatu of some kind. But yeah, so the Solo Sika one is one that I hope that they use in a manner of in the bloodline, but almost like The Rock with Nation of Domination.
Yeah.
He comes in, but he's like, screw it, I'm out type thing, and then just makes his run. Because I think he's insanely talented.
Oh, he is. Yeah.
I watched a few of his matches, and the dude has a lot of talent, but I haven't heard him on the mic, so I don't know that part.
He was good in NXT. He was good on the mic. Jacob Fatu is the wrestler you're thinking of, and he's on the MLW, Major League Wrestling, and he's a member of the Contra unit.
Okay, which the MLW does come around here.
Yep. So, I mean, Solo is like, again, if they play him right, which Triple H is in charge, and so is Shawn Michaels, so this, like, they could do this perfectly. But yeah, he has to be the one that's going to cause a divide in the bloodline. Because you already start seeing a divide with Sami Zayn going in there, and Jimmy doesn't like him, but Jay does, or other way around.
One or the other.
Yeah, I think Jay doesn't like him, Jimmy does. Whatever. So that would make sense, and they have Solo kind of undermine Sami and stick with that twin that doesn't like him and start being like, all right, Reigns, you gotta choose.
Yeah.
It's gonna be us, or do you want to keep this clown Zayn on here? Which again, Zayn's also another one that's been massively underutilized and just abused by Vince McMahon's system. Like he's a hell of a wrestler, and he's obnoxious and annoying as fuck.
He
but
is.
Again,
I just don't know where he fits. Like
him and Kevin Owens are definitely like top tier, but the problem is when you throw in the likes of like Drew McIntyre, Reigns, Orton, Rollins, no, they don't fit in that category. They're definitely those who have enough star power behind them that could just blow up the mid tier with the US and the IC, which both those titles are just a joke still. I'm hoping Triple H does something to revitalize them and make them worth watching again. So,
see, I see Kevin Owens as a championship caliber wrestler. The guy's amazing on the mic. Can get people to love him or hate him from one show to the next. And his skill set is also great.
Oh yeah,
he can go off top ropes. He's a technical wrestler. It's everything. It's his wheelhouse is great.
But have you seen the not documentary, but the special on him when it was on the WWE Network, or I think maybe it's on Peacock
Uh,
now. But basically, it's him. You're seeing his journey up until I think 2019, 2020, whenever he missed out for almost a year because of an injury.
yeah.
And he really goes on and he's like, look, I was a hell of an NXT champion, and I was a hell of a US champion. And my first run as Universal, I didn't respect that title like I should have. And he literally talks about how he was going through the motions. He didn't respect it. He didn't like doing it. He didn't like WWE at the time. He was struggling, and that's kind of where the mentality for me, anyways, comes in. That I don't think he could be a heavyweight or universal because he's already struggled to do this in the past, where he gets the title presented to him, and then he's good for about one pay per view, and then after that he just kind of goes through the motion. You can see it. So if he can actually sustain that mentality that he's talked about like he says he's changed. If he ever got another run, he would be phenomenal, and that's what he looked towards. But like he definitely could compete with Reigns. I think though he has enough star power behind him that he doesn't necessarily need those two titles. He can destroy it in the mid tier and bring notability and star power to like the US or the IC. But again, he could also do heavyweight or universal and still be amazing
Yeah.
at it. He has to kind of focus, and then depending upon who his storyline opponents are, will kind of make or break him. Like not paying him against, I don't know, Reigns fucking 6 times in a row or 3 times in a row.
But
Like,
who else? Who else is there at a mid tier that can almost keep up with Owens in that style? I mean, Cody Rhodes is out for another what, 3 to 4 months at that.
no. I mean, you do have, um,
And
Rollins, but
I'm tired of Austin Theory. That dude can go away.
the story is decent. I'd almost say good, honestly, because it's Kevin Owens coming in and very underhandedly just bashing what Vince McMahon did, saying you were presented all of this stuff
Yeah.
because of one guy. And since he
I mean,
left, you've done nothing but bitch and complain and say, I'm the youngest, I'm the youngest. But what have you done? Like, Kevin Owens is that guy, kind of like Seth Rollins, is that guy when you bring new people in, bring these rookies in, those would be your starter platforms.
to
KO,
break them off.
yeah, like KO and Rollins, they're like, it's a perfect fit. If they can make, Kevin Owens can make the shitty people look decent and the good people look amazing. Same with
Yeah.
Rollins, um, if done correctly. But then you get matches with Rollins like Riddle, and it's just like, that's lacklusting. That's not a good match. That should never happen that way. But what do I know?
I don't think Riddle's very well liked in the locker rooms
He's
because
hit and miss. He's hit and
I know
miss.
Goldberg hates him.
Well, wouldn't you if
Goldberg
you were
absolutely
called
hates him.
out for fucking what 18 months, 2 years of just every time? Hey Goldberg, maybe we should do a match, or I could do this move better than Goldberg, or I'm more like he just went about the very very wrong way, thinking he was being funny about it, and it wasn't. And everybody, again, he went after Goldberg, a very well respected wrestler, and he just took a target to him, and that was like, oh, okay, you've pissed off literally over 50% of the fan base because
Yeah.
everybody seems to love Goldberg. Uh, but not everybody understands. Okay, Rollins is just trying to goad in the guy to be like, come on, just do one match. We could, and they could. Those two could kill a match. 5 stars, if done properly, could be an easy match. But he went about it the wrong way. Goldberg's not into social media. So you're
No,
literally
he's
talking
not.
about two different eras and generations that it just he fucked up.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't think he's very well liked. I know that Rollins is more liked. Riddle is not liked as much
Yeah.
in the locker room. Um, But like other guys, like okay, Austin Theory is if Kevin Owens can unleash on him and use a whole Vince angle and bash him in that way, those two could probably have a decent feud
Well,
just in the manner that the way that they are as wrestlers.
I got to watch their match for this past Monday, and it was a good match. Like he literally bashed Kevin's head into the stairs, like literally face up. The back of his head, of Kevin's head, went straight into the top step. Like he just freaking slammed his whole body and he cracked his head on the top step. So, I mean, you guys see a nasty side of Theory, and
Yeah.
that was entertaining because we haven't seen this side. We just seen the dirty undercut side of Theory. And you're like, whatever, that's cool. Everybody does that. Everybody wants to be Eddie Guerrero. Everyone wants to pull that light sheet steel method, but very few can accurately do it.
Legitimately do it.
So, uh, but you guys see a nastier side of it, man. It was enjoyable to watch. And again, Kevin Owens is one of those guys that's like, I will take these hits for you. I will take these bumps for you. I'll make it look good. Whereas you would never see someone like, hate to put it out there, but like Reigns. Reigns would never take that big hit for a rookie. Not yet, anyways. Maybe down the line, but not right now. He's too hated by the universe that even if he put over a rookie, it wouldn't do anything for the rookie right now. It would just be a like a blank statement at that point. If that makes sense.
Reigns is over 2 years now, right? With his reign,
700 and some days.
is it okay? So he's well over. Okay, so he's over his 2 year mark.
Yeah.
And
I think SummerSlam was his 700 day.
what's the next big pay-per-view coming up?
Survivor Series.
Is it Survivor?
I mean, that's the next like big one.
Because I mean, in my eyes, you have four big ones,
Yeah.
and which I
WrestleMania,
put
Survivor Series, SummerSlam, and motherfucker, I just had all four of them.
well, I put Royal Rumble as a big one because
that's it.
One of my
That's
favorites.
That's
That's the beginning of the year, so I mean that's one of my favorites of all time.
Because you basically have winter, spring, summer, fall.
Yeah, so Survivor's the next coming. I thought Survivor was during
November.
SummerSlam. So,
Survivor is always Thanksgiving time frame.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
I
and
think
then you have your fillers.
I think Hell in the Cell is the next pay per view.
See that I hate that they use that one, but it is what it is. I get it. They have to use their gimmicks, but
Sorry, Extreme Rules.
when's Elimination Chamber? Does that already happen?
Has that already happened?
I don't think it has, but I don't know.
I feel like it has. I feel like that's right after Royal Rumble. It's already happened, so yeah.
It has, okay.
Yeah. Trying to see when though. Oh, February. So yeah, right after.
So it's right after Rumble.
Yeah.
That seems like a.
Because remember, it's the last stop before WrestleMania.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
It used to be when originally like they started doing it was the fall time frame, and then they brought Hell in a Cell pay per view and the Extreme Rules to kind of swap those out, and now you do one last massive grueling pay per view before WrestleMania.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I'm just curious to see what happens. You know, before Survivor Series happens, if anybody jumps ship from AEW to come back over, if anything happens, I don't think the whole Forbidden Door thing's really going to happen. Like we talked about in the past.
I don't think it's
I
going
don't
to
think
happen
so.
right now, especially after the CM Punk and Bucks / Omega incidents. I don't think they're gonna do anything right now, especially since MJF just got pulled into that investigation too. So now he's a part of it. So yeah, I don't see anything. I think it'll probably take a year because Tony Khan now has to kind of calm his britches down and settle his group of wrestlers. But I think it will also depend on who leaves because Malachi Black, Alistair, he just did his final match and he said farewell. So he's not wrestling anymore.
Yet.
I mean, he has stated several times, I'm done. Like he needs a mental break, which I believe. You can't do that dark, sadistic type character without having a mental toll on you. But again, his wife Zelina Vega is massively underutilized in the diva division inside WWE. She's she's small, feisty, but she's a talented wrestler. Um, so you
I think
have
that's going to get overhauled. You're going to see, and we've already seen a lot more from them. I think it'll get a bigger push. Just as long as they push the right ones, I'm honestly
I
I'm
don't
tired of
I don't want
Becky
Becky
Lynch. I used to like how Becky Lynch was when she was the
because
man, not this
well
glorified
she's
Katy
coming back.
Perry
She's coming back
looking
as the
fucking
man.
weirdo.
She'll be
I hope
coming.
she does because that was great.
But again, everybody like again when Becky Lynch was on her path to greatness, you had fucking Flair, who
Yeah,
again she's very much like Brock Lesnar, not in talent wise, but in obnoxious overbooking favoritism.
because of her name,
Yeah, it's just like
last
oh
name.
my god. And
Yes,
she's a good wrestler, but she is not A tier, and she should have not been women's champion that many times. Like I could go on and on. So many better wrestlers out there, but the, Becky Lynch got over because everybody was ready for a change.
uh-huh.
But then you had the likes of Flair coming back again, and
Yeah,
again she's gonna be a good person. Oh, now she's a heel. Like she's neither here nor there. Becky Lynch has stated, though, in a recent interview, literally like last week, that she was asked, "Will the man ever come back?" And she goes, "Yeah, I was just pitched it the other day. I'm coming back as a man, or I would love to come back as a man as long as everything lines up properly."
that'd be
But
great because that whole character, that everything about that was great. Her matches were not that her matches were any worse, but I think it threw me off because of the attire she wore, and it drove me nuts. I didn't like her whole
pop
routine of
emo.
everything she had going on. Yeah, I didn't like it at all.
I mean,
I don't know.
I didn't mind it. I like that they at least experimented, but you could tell even when she was trying to be this massive heel, she was still getting cheered way too much for a heel.
Yeah,
And I again, this was the problem with Vince was he was shoving this character's persona and character's position just down your throat of this is a heel, you will take it, heel, heel, heel. And you're like, you can't. People like her way too much. Now she can be an anti baby face, but she's still a baby
yeah.
face. Kind of like The Rock. The Rock is not a heel.
Oh boy, he tried.
He tried, but he's not a baby face either. He's literally that middle
No.
line that's like, okay, you love him, but then he does these dirty tactics, but you still love him. He does heel
Yeah.
tactics, love him. Um, but you have like Becky Lynch again. She's very much like The Rock. She's in that middle line where people don't like her, but at the same time, more people love her and appreciate everything she does, and they'll chant for her and cheer for her, even when she does something dirty. They'll go, "Oh, Becky, Becky, Becky." But you like that's just her like that's her gimmick she has to stick with. And if Triple H can get rid of this baby face slash heel division, I mean, wrestling in general needs to get rid of it. It would make so many doors open up. Uh,
Yeah.
you can try to play the heel, but just understand if people cheer you, cool. People hate you, cool. Rather than I'm gonna make you a baby face, like they did with Reigns. Everybody hated him. Everybody booed him.
Oh yeah.
So, and that took him what 2 3 years to finally just. It took him, unfortunately, having leukemia,
That
and
was one thing that yeah.
they're like, okay, he's coming back. Okay, let's make him a heel. Cool, it's about time. Because even with The Rock's endorsement, they still booed him.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is they had to bring The Rock in just to get them to
Try
cheer
to
and
try.
say, "Oh yeah, no, he is good because The Rock's there with him." Yeah, we'll cheer for The Rock, but like, oh, Raymond's there too. You're the goofy ass little brother that we have to cheer for now, just because the cool older
But
brother is here.
they didn't even cheer him. Go watch
No.
that. Go watch that episode again because they bring The Rock in and The Rock is like hyping him up and everything, and raises his hand,
Yeah.
and then you hear Rocky, Rocky,
Yeah. It
Rocky,
was.
and then
Yeah. It
the
wasn't for
chant
him.
changes. Let's go Rocky. Roman sucks. Let's go Rocky.
Yep.
Like no matter what happened, they could not get a positive cheer with Reigns, and they again he started off as a heel character anyways with the Shield. Why are you trying to make this a baby face?
Yep. But it wasn't. You have to, I think you have to give a lot to Paul Heyman for transitioning and
Oh,
changing the whole persona of Roman Reigns.
because again, Reigns was decent on the mic, but he
Decent
sucked.
at best, yes.
If he was allowed to talk in long promos, he sucked, just like he did
Oh yeah.
against Cena, where Cena literally stated, I don't have to come out here and try to put you over or anything. I just have to let you talk and I sound better. Like
Wait, yeah.
I literally saw the TikTok of that moment again. I was like, that's true. Reigns was terrible. He's still kind of bad on the mic. He's better now than he was as his enforcer style, but Paul Heyman does wonders as a
Yes.
manager. But that's what I'm saying. Like that's why I compared the two of like him and MVP. Paul Heyman does everything at like a base level. He understands the game. He understands the industry. He understands how it all needs to work together. Whereas other managers struggle very, very, very heavily on understanding the whole perspective of how this all works.
Well, looking back on it, how many actual managers were actually good on the mic, managers that could benefit or complement the person that they're with?
Heyman, Jimmy Hart, Million Dollar Man. Um,
Now, are you going post wrestling or while
no,
wrestling?
both.
Because he was kind of a manager
Yeah,
slash wrestler,
yeah,
which I can see. I mean, I'm not arguing with you about him being great on the mic and everything about
yeah.
him is great because he's a wrestling manager. And then he had Virgil, which Virgil was just a silent bookie at that point.
Paul Bearer,
Paul Bear was great too.
and he did not need a lot of words though. That was the thing.
Who
Other
was the ECW had the fucking whistle that I wish he choked on every time he sat around and blew that son of a bitch. I can't remember his name, little skinny fucker in ECW. He had the whistle, but he was one that was
who was it?
um
Was he a manager?
he was a manager.
Who did he manage?
He was with
Because
I
I
want to
can't.
say he's with the Nasty Boys for a while, but he bounced around quite a bit. He's also an announcer for a little bit as well. He always blew the whistle.
I can't think of.
He would come out. He was just annoying, overly annoying. Um, but the way he's always screaming on the mic. But it's that ECW style back in the day of Sandman, Sabu and all that when it was dirty, grungy ECW, and he fit it with how he was because he was overly annoying and obnoxious, and it all fit. Now you put him if he was to come out, he's showed up a few times, but you put him nowadays, it wouldn't work at all. Especially with how WWE is now, AEW. That idea would
Uh,
not work.
Bill Alfonso.
Yes, he was. He's an awkward manager,
Yeah,
but
he looks
dude,
it.
just look at. Oh yeah, looking at
I
him.
I
He's
googled
just
it.
a little skinny fucker,
Yeah,
and
he's
he
a
was
weird
always
looking.
blowing the whistle.
Yeah.
But it worked for him, and you hated him every time you saw him. But it fed into the characters that he was
Well,
with.
he did a lot of work with Sabu and Rob Van Dam.
Uh huh.
Yeah.
That's it. Was that was Rob Van Dam? Yes.
But I mean, I'm just trying to think of like manager wise because there's honestly not a lot. And if we're talking about strictly manager, never wrestler, Paul Heyman and Paul Bearer really the only two I could think of that were truly, truly. Oh, and Jimmy Hart. Sorry, and Jimmy Hart. Can't forget him.
Mm.
Like they were all three just amazing managers, and some that go from wrestling to managers, like Million Dollar Man and MVP, kind of work. MVP I don't think works as well if they don't have
No.
him partnered up properly. Million Dollar Man, he did good. He did good back then. Anyways, I don't think he would work nowadays. Um,
There's one that we haven't. Bobby the Brain Heenan.
yeah,
That's another one.
yeah.
Everybody hated him, but he was an amazing manager.
But you
The way the
tuned
guy would
in,
talk, exactly.
you would tune in. He's again, Miz is kind of my like pedestal for this because I fucking hate the guy, but at the same time, I like his character. I like what they're doing and what he does. The persona he goes definitely just makes me go, I fucking hate the Miz.
Yeah.
But then again, I'm like, yeah, go Miz. Dancing with the Stars, your TV show, cool, awesome. Wrestling, you lose. But that's how Bobby Heenan was like, you despise the guy, but at the same time, you're like, oh, he's talking. Hold on,
Yes.
fuck you. No,
Because I mean,
fuck
he was a manager for many different guys. Lex Luger, he was a big one for Lex Luger when he came out too.
you.
He had a very
Lex,
awkward scene with Lex Luger when he came out too. So I'm pretty sure he was almost blowing him by the time the curtain was going down, and it almost seemed like it. But whatever.
yep.
To each their own. Do your thing. Just don't talk about it.
But I mean, those are really the only managers I can think of, and like I'm trying to think of. Lita was a good manager ish when she was with the Hardys and Edge,
What do
but
I would say manager. She was more of a
she was a ring persona.
liaison.
Yeah, but there's really like no other role. You're either
I
wrestler
mean,
or
because
manager. Like,
like China wasn't a manager. She was just like a liaison or
yeah,
a
she was an
part of
enforcer.
the group. Yeah, okay, yeah, you could say that too. She was more of an
China
enforcer.
was. China was. Lita was not. Lita
Yeah,
was more
Lita
of
was not. No,
a distraction.
very good
But
distraction.
yeah, yeah. But
Yes.
I mean, there's not. That's the problem. Is like they have such a hard time having a manager become a decent manager. And maybe that's a Vince McMahon issue. It's hard to say. Time will only tell with Triple H, but they need like a uh, Tyson. No, not Tyson. God damn it, what's his name? He was a Bulldog player. Uh, O'Neil, Titus O'Neil. There we go.
Okay.
When he was like manager, and they tried to do Titus Worldwide, that was stupid. Terrible
Yeah.
manager. But again, don't know if that's really Titus because Titus is good on the mic if you let him talk.
Oh man, looking at him now with everything he does
Oh yeah,
I'm not
WWE
sure.
ambassador.
Yeah, Master. That's what it is, dude. Like he kills it.
But that's the thing,
He's
like
killing it with all that.
they allow him to be himself.
Mhm.
Again, he's another one of those guys that was very, very heavily underutilized and appreciated. He had all the talent, all the skill set there, and then Vince is just kind of like, "Fuck you! You don't fit my profile anymore. Let's go make you a joke." So, but he was decent when he was able to free speak, basically. But the moment that I script, which Vince was very big on, is read the script, memorize the script. It felt very fake and unauthentic. So
Well, I think the Attitude Era really ruined it for him because everybody was off script at that point. Everybody had free reign to do what they wanted at that point, and as well as he did too, because it was, you know, the monkeys were running the show at that point. Shawn Michaels, Triple H had free reign to do whatever they wanted,
yeah,
and they were told to stop, but they kind of like, oh yeah, sure, no problem.
we'll do it
And
again.
then, yeah, okay,
I mean,
well, yeah, we'll read what USA sent us, but we'll bleep out everything that we're not supposed to say.
we can't say fuck. Oh,
Yeah,
fuck!
well,
Stop saying
shit,
fuck.
fuck, oh fuck, okay, sorry, fuck.
Damn it.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's just like, at what point does everything get to where a manager is somebody who is supportive of the wrestler, or is it there just another person that talks on the mic to
Well,
take up time?
well, right now we have Scarlett with Karrion Cross, who, as long as Triple H lets her do what they did in NXT, she's a fantastic manager. She was amazing. She did everything a manager needed and was supposed to do, and she's a female at that, and she would still take bumps occasionally from male wrestlers, like if she's trying to distract them, she gets pushed off by accident. Um, but again, Vince ruined that. Vince ruined Karrion Cross, but I think she will be the first true testament for Triple H on discovering managers, and I think they almost need to hire I'm gonna hate saying this. They need to hire an influencer, someone who can come in and just. They already have hundreds of thousands, millions of followers who listen to them day in day out. Like Logan Paul
Yeah,
could
that's who it
could
is.
be an amazing manager if you let him talk how he wants and talk
Could
his game.
he? I mean,
But he's a great wrestler right now. I mean, 2 matches in,
I
but he's a lot
yes,
better than Dominic
he's got a
Mysterio.
lot more. He's got a lot of potential, I think, to be a successful wrestler. His mic skills, though, I don't know how good he can talk for sure, but he can talk in the manner that he could talk on YouTube. I don't know if he can talk in a manner of boosting somebody as a manager.
Based on how quickly he trained, and again, keep in mind, look at what episode 3 or 4 where we did the WWE WrestleMania,
Yeah.
and I was like, fuck Logan Paul, fuck him, like
I think I said it too.
yeah, but we're like, this is a joke. Why are we doing this? However, we both have been proven wrong. That's
We
fine.
ate our
I'm okay
words the
with it.
next episode on our follow up. We are like,
Like
okay, he would look legit.
he looked decent. And even Triple H, I said, like that dude went to Miami. He was training, busting his ass 24/7. So
Yeah.
I think if he were to partner up, he would be the perfect one to partner up with Paul Bearer and let Paul Bearer just kind of take him underneath his wing. Hey, this is what you say. This is what you do. This sound to sound very educated without being very well educated is the best way to put it. Like
Paul Bear or
Heyman,
Paul Heyman?
Heyman, sorry, not Bear.
Wait, okay. So Bear's dead.
Paul Heyman would be a good one for Logan Paul to partner up with, like behind the scenes. And if they're not already doing it, Heyman should be the one that's like, we need managers. If you're gonna have these big factions, you need a manager. You cannot have dumbass groups like Judgment Day without a manager. This makes no sense. They're just like it's too convoluted and hectic. You're like, who's in charge? Who the fuck's in charge? Is it Rhea? Rhea's in charge? Okay, cool. Make it known. Oh, Finn Balor is
Yeah.
in. Oh, okay. But not Priest. Priest is not in charge. But Heyman needs to partner up with Logan or whoever and basically, hey, this is how we come across very simplistic, but at the same time very highly educating sounded.
Yeah.
Because like with him, Heyman's always rode the wave with society, meaning like anything culturally that happened. His big thing with Lesnar this last few years was that's not a prediction, that's a spoiler. The big thing that was going around the web at the time was spoilers for literally everything Marvel related and video games. All that was spoiler,
Yeah.
spoiler, spoiler. And he took that and he ran with it. I think Logan Paul could do that, but he needs to be trained a bit. I unfortunately see his brother coming into WWE for a stint and maybe doing a manager, doing a tag team between him and Logan with somebody else. I hope they don't because I don't care how talented Jake is. Jake is fugliest and he's obnoxious and he's so much worse than Logan Paul is on YouTube and everything else.
I don't think Jake will make it. He's got another boxing match. He's got Anderson Silva. He's fighting.
We'll see.
Next month, I believe.
We'll see.
I don't know because that dude he's not good for business for that brand. I don't see it. I hope it doesn't. But as far as Logan, the fact that he's signed with WWE, but he's not overly used. He's not put out very much. So I'm hoping he's able to learn as much as he can on the back end to benefit him and his in-ring success that he's had so far. So we'll see.
Pat McAfee when he comes back to WWE after college day or game day, wherever the college thing is. Pat McAfee would be an amazing manager because he can especially if he did like Shinsuke Nakamura, he can hype the fuck out of people, and he's proven on commentating, and he can make you hate a character like Corbin, or he can make you absolutely just love the ever loving shit out of somebody like Shinsuke. It's like Shinsuke's one of those like I never looked at, never thought of like okay whatever cool, and again very underutilized wrestler. He's a beast of a wrestler. He's very good. He's very technical. But again, underutilized. And then you have Pat McAfee who's sitting back here and is like jamming out to his song and just hyping up Shinsuke. Like, he's one of those that he could very well be a very good manager because just let him say whatever the fuck he wants. And say, hype this dude up.
That's never like off. I started watching his podcast or show,
YouTube,
whatever you want to call it. It's on YouTube, and that dude is never like off. He's always on
110 all the time.
I'm just like, damn, dude, like you don't stop. You're at this level every time, no matter what. Talking to, his Aaron Rodgers skits the shows that he has with different players, everything.
Well, he had studios. He had one with Brock Lesnar on there and the Undertaker on there. Like he's just going. He's there. He's hyped. And I watched the one where he has Lesnar on there, and I was like, no way Lesnar is gonna take kindly to this because this dude is too fucking much. Love it. But Lesnar was even like, yeah. And he just did the whole thing. He was getting like pumped about it. I was like, okay. I hate you a little less, Lesnar, but all right.
Lesnar's kind of an odd dude. Like he's to himself, hates people, but
he's my type of person.
Kind of enjoy himself when he wants to in the right atmosphere.
Yeah.
Because I'm assuming that it wasn't in studio when Lesnar was there with McAfee. It was over like a Zoom or whatever call.
He was in studio. He was in studio. Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay.
I'll have to find. I don't know if he still has it up on YouTube, but it was like around WrestleMania time frame, I believe, or short, maybe end of last year. He just made his big return, and they were talking. That's
when he talked about breaking a table, or he acted like he was going to break a table and come after somebody.
Yeah.
Okay, I did see it. It wasn't studio. You're right. Okay, I did see it then.
Like, again, Lesnar's one of those like he hates society. I get it.
He does. I exactly.
But like if you let him be and he's in his own environment in a place where he truly just feels relaxed, Lesnar is fucking hilarious to listen to and watch. He's fucking hilarious. Like he did a advertisement shoot, whatever, with this butchery, and he literally gets taught, hey, this is how we cut steaks, this is how we butcher a cow, and he like processed the whole fucking cow head to toe or head to tail, and Lesnar would literally like, pick up a tomahawk steak and be like, this is like Monday dinner for me. This is all you cut it? This is so small. I was like, you're kind of funny.
I can only imagine how some of those guys are. Like, I mean, I've heard Goldberg on podcasts, and he's a
character.
Your typical dad.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just like your typical dad that's like, don't fuck with me, I won't fuck with you. I'll drink my Budweiser and enjoy myself. You call me Stone Cold, I'll probably choke you out, but whatever.
He's very much a 90s, 90s dad style. Like, it's hilarious. Love it, but like
and Brock is kind of the don't fuck with me, I won't fuck with you, leave me alone.
He's the quiet kid.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody was concerned about. You respected him. If you didn't, you knew you were gonna fuck up and find out. Like, he's literally the definition of fuck around and find out.
Yeah, and that's very true.
Like, it's so interesting to see those guys on podcasts and episodes and interviews, like Undertaker now, finally disclosing everything of his 30-year career, and just like, wow, this dude, you talk about a living, breathing legend who kept in character for 30 fucking years. Undertaker. Like, there's nobody else that does it better than him. And
I saw an interview with him with Kevin Hart when they did the Kevin Hart has one where they sit in the ice in the ice bath, and Undertaker is there, but Kevin Hart walks out and there's two ice baths sitting there. They're the troughs, and he pops up and he's like, I've been under there for like 5 minutes, and you can physically tell that he's like freezing his ass off trying to sell it as what he is, still in character, but he sells it as that, and then other shit happens, and lights go down and he starts grunting and acting like
he's
demonic side and shit. It's just he still can play the character, but it sucks. I mean, he's older and outgrown all of that stuff, but it's just like, man, he still has
it. Yeah, like he can still do it, but like to see the other side of him, to finally be opening and social about everything rather than keeping it all hidden to protect the Undertaker's persona, like his podcasts that he's on, his interviews he's on, all this stuff, and you're just like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Really, wow. And like it's just I don't want to say trade secrets, but it's very much like trade secret style reveals where you're finding out shit that happened in like the 90s, the 80s, or 90s for him technically, 90s, early
Yeah.
2000s, and you're just like, all that shit happened, and he was always in the Undertaker persona. He was never just Mark Calloway. Never
Yeah.
just like loved it, and even with the rise of social media in early 2000s, 2010s, he still kept it. He didn't get on social. He didn't get interviewed. He didn't like he stayed away from the internet basically.
And you never saw photos
Nope.
or videos of anything of him outside of the arena.
No, never.
You never saw anything.
He was very well protected. Like he did his shit right.
Yeah.
But then you had like what was it? I think before his documentary came out last year, he was seen with his wife, Michelle McCool, not her real name, can't think of her real name, but you saw them two in a water like pool of water with tigers, and he was doing like a conservation ad where he's like protect the tigers, I think. But you see this fucking beast, Mark Calloway, ponytail, and he's like petting, being all lovey with the tiger, and he was like, "The fuck is this? Is this the Undertaker?" And everybody, like, I remember that took over the internet like fucking wildfire
It's a new
because
Tiger King show.
he hadn't came out yet. Like that was the first real picture and video of the Undertaker while he was still personifying the Undertaker.
Yeah.
I think it was actually 2 years ago, maybe, because he had Boneyard match whenever that was with AJ Styles. I think that was just last year.
It was 2 years ago. That was
Yep.
COVID, so I wouldn't post.
2 years.
It was post COVID, so it would have been 2 years ago.
But like that, like blew the fucking. I just remember that was everywhere on my Facebook or Instagram, Twitter, Reddit, everyone. Like, is this really? No, and there's people like that's not really Mark Calloway, blah blah, and like they're justifying. I was like, no, that he has that
That's
neck
him.
tattoo. That's. I'm not saying I know my people, but Mark Calloway / Undertaker is somebody I have like followed for fucking decades.
Yeah.
And it's just like
It's weird.
respected.
But like seeing the actual personal lifestyle of them is odd because he has that other persona of the dead man, and
Only
and all that
for
stuff.
people like him, Kane. It was kind of weird. Like when I found out he was governor, or mayor, I was like, "What the fuck?
I think he's got reelected too.
What the fuck?" I thought he was going up for like Senate or Congress or. We're not gonna get that. No
could be.
politics yet, but he's going up for something else. Even though it's wrestling.
Yeah,
But, like,
it's kind of.
but like that was so weird to find out. And nowadays, like you see all these social medias and accounts for everybody, and you're just like, okay, cool. They're just normal human beings, and we've started breaking down that wall a lot better of fake, real. Like Roman Reigns
Yeah.
will not stay in character when he's doing press conferences or Children's Hospital or anything like that. He's not in character 24/7 or even majority of the time. I think it was WrestleMania this year. He gave a heartfelt like interview, or not interview, a video, whatever, to a child that is fighting cancer or just beat cancer, and he's like, "You got this. The bloodline stands strong with you." Like he was very positive, very good guy mentality. Like, and I get it. He has leukemia, and it would be insane for them to say be a heel during this,
Yeah.
but like they definitely let him be more of a, hey, just be yourself. It's fine. No, it's fine. Do what you think. Like we all understand that now. Whereas again, when we were kids watching wrestling, even it's like, no, that's Undertaker. He's always this way, or this is Kane, or this is Shawn Michaels, this is Triple H, this is DX, whatever. Like those personas were so solidified that we really didn't think about, oh, there's a man behind this persona. Whereas nowadays we definitely that's not really him. That's like there's a clear division, and it's just so weird to live through both of those, and you're like, oh yeah, I like him. Like the Miz. Fucking like him as a person, like his character, hate him.
Yeah. No, I mean it's like when I was growing up, I watched wrestling. I mean every Monday. That's all it was. I didn't have
Yeah.
anything else. I mean we had the Saturday what was it? WF had
uh,
Saturday
uh,
morning something or whatever.
no, it was a velocity.
Saturday. Yes. Okay. So they had those. I couldn't watch them because I didn't have whatever channel was on. But Monday Night Raw, Nitro, those were the two that we watched nonstop. So in my eyes, that they had these characters, and after that, they took them and they put them back in their box
Yeah.
until next Monday,
Yeah.
and then after that, they let them out.
Basically.
So we didn't have. There was no internet to where we could look at all that stuff and figure out. Oh, this is this. This is that.
There was no social media.
No, I mean it ruined everything. I mean, I'm the old cranky dad. This goddamn social media ruined everything for us in this day and age.
This goddamn book face.
Damn it, fucking kids these days and their space my Facebooker bullshit.
This talkity tickety thing. What the fuck is this?
Tickety bullshit. But it did.
No,
I mean, because there always has to be the asshole that's like, oh, spoiler.
Yeah.
This is what's happening. Well, fuck you, buddy.
yeah.
Thanks a lot. I wasn't wanting that, but cool. Thanks, Dick.
I wasn't gonna watch that anyways, but now I feel like I have to watch it so I can be super pissed off at you.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, and that's like, I mean, I get it, but it's such a different game and different environment to see how it was when even before SmackDown. Because I remember watching the first episode of SmackDown. I remember thinking that was the coolest shit. Oh, there's two brands. Oh, they're gonna compete with each other like that. It was so awesome. To now we have social media super heavy, and we're talking about like MySpace. Even MySpace was around SmackDown time frame, but artists still were using MySpace. It wasn't what Facebook is now. But the moment Facebook, Twitter, all that came out, and paparazzis were allowed within the premise of these matches and these stadiums, that's where the whole game just changed. Because it used to be paparazzis were not, or camera shooters, whatever you want to fucking call them, they were nowhere near the stadium at all when these wrestlers were coming in. And now they're like, oh yeah, just whatever. Cool. Yeah, you're here. Yeah, you can take pictures of these people showing up. So there's no mystery, there's no veil anymore. It's just you see Seth Rollins, he's a good guy outside of wrestling, and he does a lot of good work.
Yeah.
He gets in wrestling, you're like, okay, cool. He's a heel in wrestling. Outside, he's good. You didn't have that back then.
Yeah,
Austin was a shithead. He was an asshole. Everybody loved Austin.
Yeah.
And it's even funny seeing him now. We're like, you soft bastard. You
Well, I mean, and
bitch.
that also is what hurt. I think it also hurts their characters in the same aspect of social media and everything else because they can't keep that like Undertaker did.
Yeah.
They have to be able to change that because they're so ingrained into them now is post your character, bring your character, make sure you promote your own character on your own time in your own manner. But be in character, but don't be in character for certain aspects of it.
Yeah. Well, you have
it's like, and I get the whole, Make a Wish Foundation and everything like that of keeping the fans, and there are kids out there that you can definitely reach out to them like, hey, you're struggling. I've struggled too.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with that at all.
No.
I mean, don't get me wrong. But the social media aspect of wrestling is ruined because you see behind the scenes so much more than you did back in the day.
But here's the thing. I wouldn't say it's ruined though. I would say it has evolved because it brings a whole different aspect that they haven't capitalized on yet. And I think again that comes down from Vince McMahon being the old crotchety grandpa of he lived through all these eras and he's not young. He doesn't understand social media to the highest caliber. Maybe he does and he's just fucking refuses to use it. But like, I'm not saying Triple H knows social media, but he has to know it a lot better than Vince. There's like 30-year gap difference there.
He's got to have some type of. He probably has people below him to understand a lot more. But I would say he has a grasp on it.
He's more receptive to it. Versus McMahon was very much no.
Yeah, he's been more front and center for it, as far as everything else too. Yeah,
but like I think there's that's a market that they haven't capitalized on yet. They haven't truly just abused the shit out of and just made it work so much, especially with like everything going on right now with like AEW. If WWE truly wanted to start taking true, legitimate shots at AEW, they could do it all social media and just take shots that way and slowly ingrain that into the shows of the commentators like Michael Cole. Just be able to like, oh my god, uh, did you see XYZ happen on so and so's Twitter? Cool, yeah. Don't ever mention AEW, but like
Yeah.
mention AEW type.
Yeah. To the point of like,
Don't say AEW.
it's there. It's there, but we won't say it, but
Like,
it's there.
like there's no other wrestling promotion that can do what we do type thing. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
call them out. Like,
eh,
don't say AEW. Don't say
yeah,
Impact Wrestling. Don't say New Japan. Like, just, yeah.
yeah. I mean, that's another one that needs to be. Hopefully, will get catapulted into the talks of WWE, AEW, and New Japan. Just hopefully it gets put in there because they've sat on the back burner or the backstage for a long time, and they have produced and
So
made a lot of wrestlers. I mean, Mick Foley, New Japan. If a lot of his success came from New Japan, and his characters came from New Japan. Terry Funk.
I think Hunter or Triple H also did time in New Japan, but you also
I
have
wouldn't doubt it. I
uh,
wouldn't doubt it at all.
Undertaker, I believe, did some. A lot of the Attitude Era, Austin did it. I know that.
Yes.
But I mean, everybody more recent, Ambrose, Dean Ambrose, John Moxley, huge on New Japan. Chris Jericho went to New Japan. Like,
Hey, Jericho's been in everything.
yeah.
I mean,
He hasn't been on
ECW,
Impact.
WWE.
He has not been on Impact, to my knowledge.
Was that that's the one that Hogan had for a while, right? Him and
It's the 8-sided ring,
Jared.
and then they finally
That
switched
he was the
it
S1, yeah.
and now it's
He never did
4-sided.
that. Jericho's never in that one.
I don't think so.
Okay. No, he's probably in WWE at that point when all that was going on. Okay, so I mean, but yeah, that dude has been in almost every single company that's out there, and he's already talked about wanting to come back.
Yeah.
He wants to come back. He wants to do another run or a final run, whichever it be
Yeah.
in WWE. Because I mean, he still has a great relationship with everybody there.
Yeah, he didn't
It
burn
just
any
depends on
bridges.
if he can come back and do it. Because I mean, seeing him at AEW, I mean, he looks amazing still.
Well, he got back in shape. He had a fat phase, and then he
Yes.
discovered DDP yoga, and now he's back getting into really good shape.
That dude has saved so many wrestlers.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Not
R.I.P.
like-
Scott Hall, but I mean, he brought Scott Hall out of a darkness to
Yeah.
elevate him the best he could, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
So I mean, it is what it is with that.
But yeah, no, I mean you're absolutely right. DDP has saved like tons of lives, but he's also improved a lot of people's careers too. Take Drew McIntyre and Chris Jericho, and then you have truly saved lives, Jake the Snake Roberts.
Yes,
He was also another one that like what he was heavy into. Was it just alcohol or was he also drugs?
He was a big alcoholic, and I believe he had some type of pill addiction. I
Yeah.
don't know if it was like a muscle relaxer or
I want to say it was codeine,
something like that,
but yeah.
it could have been something like that.
But like, I don't know, he's done amazing stuff too. I mean, I don't know if you ever done DDP yoga. It's not easy.
Not I do or have.
I have
done. I have done it.
Yeah. I was like, that was the only way my wife got me to do
Right.
yoga. She's like, would you do this? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, DDP does it.
DP? Yes. Okay, I'll do it. Sign me up. Let's go right now.
It was a lot easier even when he's like, we'll get 50% off for military veterans. Like, sold.
Okay.
I'll do it. I'll
Tangle
get
the fruit. I'll take it.
back. It's very low bearing fruit, but still. But I mean,
But that is one guy I think I was also a lot of WCW guys were misused when they came over because Vince didn't want them. But
Vince killed the
man,
company.
so many guys were misused or not used at all or made to be a joke in the entire company because Vince didn't like them.
They didn't fit his cookie cut outline, and that's really
No.
was. It was a cookie cut outline. He would recruit all these people, not recruit. He would take all these people, and then
Mhm.
he'd be like, "Oh yeah, I see the talent in you." And then take Alistair and Buddy Murphy, those two, and even Ricochet. Those three came up from NXT. They were like the first ones to break ground from NXT to WWE, Raw and SmackDown, and they were booked fantastically for 2 weeks. And then Vince went, nix them,
Yeah.
make them jobbers. We're done. It's like, and those are three people again. You're talking about indie wrestlers, amazing on the indie scene, New Japan, and even AEW, where Malachi was and just left, and Buddy Murphy is now. I forget what he goes by, but like amazing, amazing fucking wrestlers, and Vince just swept them underneath the
Yeah.
rug. And then you had like Chad Gable. He's a fantastic wrestler, and they made him a joke several times over.
He's a big technical wrestler. Huge technical.
Because he's a legit
Mhm.
he's a legit wrestler.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's like, yeah.
Yeah, like
And there's not many guys like that anymore either.
no, he should have been the one. They could have made a whole nother Kurt Angle 2.0 with Chad.
Yes.
Absolutely. They had the All American, they had the Olympic winner, like they had it, and they fucked it up royally.
Yeah.
Like even now with the Alpha Academy, it's obnoxious to watch. And I was really hoping when they kicked out, I was like, all right, cool, he's gonna get a solid push, he's gonna get a push. Otis in, and then Insane was like, oh, hold on. Is this gonna be how WWE makes Otis lose weight? Are we gonna see a transformation? And it was like, oh. He just went from this blue collar hick to this silent beefcake of a dude who just enforces. Really, is all. Like
I like Otis, and I really hope they do something with him.
he's
The
talented.
guy has talent. Even for a big guy doing moonsaults, stuff like that, there's not many guys you've seen
that size.
that
No.
do that size that do moonsaults. The other one was who was a trainer, WCW guy. Cannot remember his name. He's one of the main trainers. He's been in all the Tough Enough shows.
Nash.
Does who?
Kevin Nash.
No, he's in the Tough Enough. He's a trainer. He did the moonsault.
Oh,
Long hair.
Kendrick's the only one that comes to mind, but I don't think
No,
that's it.
old school guy. WCW.
I'm trying to think. That's the problem.
What the fuck is his name?
Not Sabu. He has long hair. He's
No,
ECW,
no,
though.
heavy set guy.
Oh,
What the hell is his name? Oh my gosh! Anybody listen to the podcast right now is probably screaming it like, "That's this fucking guy, you idiot!"
dipshits.
What the fuck is his name? He's an old school guy. I mean, he was back in the Attitude Era, WCW. It was. Oh my gosh! I'm gonna be mad as soon as I can think of it. I mean, I can Google WCW fat guys.
That's fine, dude.
WCW fat guys. Like I can't think of what the fuck is his name.
I can't.
That's like awesome. And Dusty Rhodes comes up. That's not one. That's not what I'm looking for. But either way, I mean that dude, the guy that could do it was amazing with what he had, the talent that he had. And
You're not
you
thinking
go
like
to the
Jimmy
man-
Flies or Jimmy Superfly Snuka.
No,
Okay.
no, I'm talking like not even like Snuka was jacked.
In this
Running
picture
out
they
and
put
everything.
him, he's chunky.
What the hell is his name?
Not Rob Van Dam.
No. It's not a. He's not a main card guy. He's a mid card
I'm
at
looking.
best.
Owen Hart.
He is what
Dynamite
in the
Kid.
fuck is his? No. Oh my gosh, this is where the podcast goes down. Thanks for watching, guys. I mean, I can't think of his fucking name.
I need so much more information than just a heavy set
He,
WCW.
he's a trainer. I mean, he's a legit wrestling trainer. He was in Tough Enough. He's a Tough Enough trainer.
I don't know.
Oh my gosh, he is. He's been in every one of the damn. Bob.
Is it Albert?
Bob-
No, not Albert.
No. I don't know why Bobby comes to mind, but
God damn it! I can see his face now.
he had long hair, shaved up to like midway, long hair. Oh my gosh! Welcome to the fucking I'm an Idiot podcast, brought to you by Rahgel Sig.
Not
The fuck is his name?
Not Bill DeMott.
No. Oh my gosh!
Let's
This is the Brain Fart Academy here. This is
no,
ridiculous.
He's not
Go. No, it's a white guy. So, oh my gosh.
This page is just full of white people, so I'm sorry. That's not our fault, everyone, okay? Talk to fucking WWE.
Oh my gosh. What is his name? It's gonna fucking drive me nuts. Either way, I don't know what to. Oh my gosh. Either way, dude could do the same thing that. I don't even know who we were talking about. Now that I've committed to this, thinking of this, I've lost what we were talking about. Otis, yes. Okay. The comparison to him is he was not a nasty boy. He was a faction of some kind. What the hell? Who was his name? Nope, it doesn't matter. I'm not gonna remember who it is. No, bigger than that.
Okay, well, I'm looking at WWE Tough Enough trainers, and there's only 4 of them. And it was Al Snow, Jacqueline, Taz, and Tori.
No.
But Taz was easy.
He's a trainer of some kind, and that's not him. I'm gonna find him, and it's gonna fucking drive me nuts until I find him.
Al Snow,
what is his name?
Ivy, Taz, Chavo Guerrero. Al Snow,
Albert was another one that was great. A very weird. What right here? I have his fucking. I can see his face. Damn it. What the fuck is your name?
I've literally gone through all of them, and there's
Bill DeMott.
I said Bill DeMott like 3 times.
Oh, that's who I said. Yeah, that was Bill DeMott. Damn it, I didn't know it was his name. That's it, Bill DeMott. My bad.
On the record, I said Bill DeMott like 5 fucking minutes ago when this shit just started.
Well, that was it. I can't remember his in-ring name though.
Just Bill DeMott. That's literally the only thing coming up for WWE.
Oh.
It's Bill DeMott.
What the hell was his in-ring name? That was not his in-ring name.
He's gone by Captain Huge G, Reaction Crash, the Terminator, General Hugh G, Reaction Hugh Morris, the Laughing Man, the Man of Question, and Jim.
Oh, Hugh Morris. It was Hugh Morris was his WCW.
Right. There's like a cut up himself.
Okay, I fucked up. It was Bill DeMott. Okay.
Yeah, you fucked up.
Yep, Hugh Morris because they just call him Huge Morris because I was.
Sig knew all along, but was told no.
Oh, whatever. I can't remember his name. I don't know why. I don't know. Whatever. Cool. Good job out of you. So, anyways, after that train wreck of a 2-minute debacle,
that was 5 minutes, but whatever.
Give me your top 5. You can do 3 or 5.
Pick a fucking number.
You shut your mouth. Top 5 outrageous matches, like your top 5 matches. Give me your top 5 matches. Off the top of your head, this is on the spot. Top 5 matches.
I can't give like pay-per-view because I don't remember the pay-per-views, so just
no, it doesn't matter.
In no particular order. One of them that comes to mind is the triple threat TLC match with God damn it, Dudley Boys. There we go. Christian Edge and the Hardys. That's amazing.
That TLC one?
Yeah.
Like that was the first TLC though.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Where I think it was Bubba Ray that got knocked unconscious and they
Yes.
Yeah, and they saved him. Like he legitimately had his life saved that day.
He was out of it. He finished the match too.
Yeah, he did. And then Edge versus Cena versus Big Show when Cena does a double AA to both of them. Like he has, that was a good one. Triple H versus Undertaker with Shawn Michaels as referee into the Attitude Era. That was that match just forever lives in my head. Oh, there's so many though.
You can do 3. That'll be 3 right there if you want.
Oh, that's 3.
That's 3.
Amazingly, Army can count to 3.
If you 1, 2, 3.
No, there's been so many is the thing. Undertaker versus Lesnar, the end of the street. That's just because that one pissed me off. Like I really wish Undertaker never lost. That shit how he went out. God, there's one more I can think of too. Oh, just because it was funny, Batista versus John Cena in an I Quit match where Cena duct taped Batista's feet around the ring post.
Oh,
and he could not get up, or not I Quit, Last Man Standing, sorry. And he couldn't get up. There's like so many matches, but those are the top 5 like instantly. If you want on the spot, those are the top 5 I instantly think of. And of course, can't forget like any of the Rock versus Austin or even D-Generation X on any of them. Like there's so many of them.
So okay, I'll give you my top in no order. I mean, my top one. This will be my number 1. Out of I said no order.
In no order.
Top 1 in no order, but this is by far my favorite of all. Is Mankind, Undertaker, Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
I mean, I showed my kids that one the other day, and they're like, "I thought wrestling was fake." Oh no. Watch this match.
Well, no, it is fake, but the bumps are real.
Until this part where he gets thrown off the top, thrown through the top, and then tags her.
Tooth goes up through the nose.
Oh yeah,
that part. That still gets me when I watch it too. I see the tooth just kind of like.
But even like going back watching, knowing everything you know, and you're watching each part of that match after, because we watched the whole part of him talking about that match.
Yeah.
And the craziness with it about how he's like, I was out of it.
Oh yeah, he's like, I don't remember most of it.
I remember any of it really go back in, but I went back in. He said Terry was trying to tell me to stop, pulling me back, but I was doing it. Scott Hall, Shawn Michaels ladder match for Intercontinental title. One of my favorite ladder matches of all time.
See, all my favorite ladder matches include like the classic 3 of Hardy, Edge, and Christian.
Oh yeah, no, those are
like nothing competes
those are hands
with those
down
3.
The best. No, you can't. There's like this is just like those 2 going at a ladder match.
That was brutal too.
Undertaker, Shawn Michaels,
and his retirement match.
Yep. Yes, that was one. Not gonna lie, a tear was shed the day that it happened, but a great match in itself for everything that it was.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't shed a tear, but it was very like it was one of those matches of no, fuck you, heartbreak.
Don't do it.
Why are you doing this?
Bret Hart Stone Cold match where Stone Cold passes out, or he's bleeding and passes out.
Yeah.
Still one of my favorites. And another one is again it'd be another Bret Hart match, but with Shawn Michaels and the screw job. The story behind it.
So, since you mentioned Bret twice, because we've talked a lot about like underutilized, shut down a throat type thing. Bret Hart used to be, literally up until this year, used to be one of those wrestlers I just absolutely like admired. He was so great. He got screwed over. Like it was just amazing, great wrestler. This year, I do mean 2022, has completely flipped my entire view on this guy, and he is now just this whiny ass little bitch, and it pisses me off because he is all for wrestling, but he is so quick to just bitch, complain, and point the fingers, and maybe it's him saying character, I don't know, but he is so old to the point where like character should have died. So let's start being real, and he has nothing nice to say about Vince ever. He has barely anything nice to say about Triple H or WWE as a whole, and every time he opens his mouth, I've watched probably like 3 or 4 podcasts and interviews with him, and I'm just like, God damn, how did I ever respect you? Because you are such a whiny bitch.
Well, think about it. The guy's been screwed
Oh no, I'm not.
1,000 times through
I'm not
for what
questioning
his
it.
family has done
I'm not. I'm not.
for the industry.
Yeah, but
But I mean, he's.
he has nothing nice to say, and that's the problem. Like
I mean, why
he
would you though?
I
I
know,
mean,
I know, but like he.
I've never liked Bret Hart. I've never
Oh,
liked him.
okay.
I thought he was a boring. Growing up, looking back at it now, yes, the guy was great. Growing up, I hated it. I did not like Bret Hart at
Oh,
all.
he was
The
terrible to
whole
watch.
technical wrestler thing was boring to me. I
No,
liked the high flyer, the Shawn Michaels style is what I liked. Bret Hart was not one guy that I ever liked at all.
his submissions though, like those were so finely put in. Like that was probably my favorite part. Is like he's such a great submission
Uh-huh.
wrestler, but
Yes, he
like
was.
but like his entire legacy, I get the Hart Foundation, the Hart industry has done so much for wrestling as a whole, and he has. I have yet to hear a decent interview. I mean decent where he doesn't bitch.
Uh-huh.
I have yet to hear an interview or podcast or episode or anything with him this year where he's not just going down negative alley every turn, every which way. It's just he has this fuck you, fuck this mentality towards WWE, and he acts like he had nowhere else to go. Which again, New Japan was just kicking up near his screw job. Really, like New Japan was coming up really big overseas, and he could have went to New Japan and blew it up over there and gave them the pop that they needed, and probably gave WWE a run for the money. But he's just like they asked him about Owen Hart, like the unfortunate tragedy that happened
Uh-huh.
live, and he fucking bitch and complain about that too. I get it. I would too. I would too. If somebody died that way, somebody close to me. But the fact that he's just like Vince McMahon did nothing for this, and the fact that he didn't pay this family, he didn't give any money, he didn't attend the funeral, like, dude, now's your time right now to literally represent Owen Hart and the Hart family properly and be like, yes, it was a terrible tragedy. Here, let me give you some highlight moments of wrestling with Owen Hart, being in this faction with Owen Hart, being part of family. But instead, it's just fuck WWE. Like that was his whole interview. Was he overshadowed what should have been a great in memory of type moment
Yeah.
to just a fuck you WWE. And it was like that was the first interview I saw this year back in like February or March. And I was like, you're dude, chill out. We get it. You don't like WWE. Change your tune. Do something else. Like find something else to bitch about because right now you went from being this technical wrestler to an anti WWE pogue. Like you're not entertaining anymore. And like anytime they mention Bret Hart's coming on TV, I'm like, done.
Yeah, no. I mean, like he was a guy that I didn't like. He in my eyes was always a heel. I never saw him as a babyface or anything. His matches to me were always boring, but the Stone Cold match and him was great.
Yeah.
The feud between him and Shawn Michaels, like it was great. Like it was
But
when I think Brett was in the wheelchair and he super kicked him and he
yeah.
fell back into the wheelchair when it was the Hart Foundation.
Yeah.
All that stuff. When they had the Hart Foundation, that was great because everybody hated Hart Foundation.
Oh yeah.
It was something that like everybody hated, but like Shawn Michaels was Shawn Michaels and doing his thing, and
Well, everybody hates
it was
Shawn Michaels back then too.
oh
The
man, he
locker room
was
hated him.
yeah because he found his niche and had free reign pretty much
Oh,
because
he
he
was.
linked up with Triple H and the Click at that point,
Well, yeah.
and they did what they wanted. They didn't care.
But I mean, even before that, I mean, Shawn Michaels. Like you can look at all the documentaries. Everybody hated Shawn because he was this pretty boy who could
Yep.
do no wrong, and he was. I think he was doing drugs at one point. Like he was just fucking terrible. Nobody wanted to work with him. Everybody hated him. He was coming in drunk. Like everybody hated him. And then he found God. Literally, that's what he.
After his break that he
Yeah.
took.
So go watch the
And
Shawn
then-
Michael and DX thing. You can see all that yourself. We're not getting into it, but he found that, and he's this whole different person. Everybody loves him, and that's his again. That's his legacy. He's now remembered more for his positive run in WWE versus his pretty boy
Pretty boy.
era, where everybody just absolutely hated him. I mean, everybody locker room, everybody. Whereas Bret Hart is almost the exact opposite. Everybody would respect him. They didn't like the the persona, again, pre-social media day,
Yeah.
but everybody respected the Harts. It respected the Hart Dungeon. It meant something.
Yeah.
It was like stamp of approval. It was the best thing. And now you look at Natalie, the last student of the Hart Dungeon, underutilized. She's annoying. She's not a good wrestler for being the Hart Foundation, like, or the Hart Dungeon. She should not be holding
No.
that title, but that also doesn't mean anything anymore. But like, yeah, it's just one of those things that like kind of bugs me. And he pops up on my FYP or on my recommendation from even Google of, hey, uh, Bret Hart was interviewed by XYZ. I'm just like, let's watch this train wreck of a shit show.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Cause yeah.
I mean, you're like anybody, like if you're listening, seriously, just go freaking YouTube 2022 or Google search 2022 Bret Hart interviews, and they're just negative, pessimistic, and even when they ask about like AEW, he's like, "Oh, I hope AEW does puts WWE out of business." Blah blah blah. I was like, dude, if you truly respected wrestling, like I get it. Terrible shit happened to you. You got fucked over. Cool. I
Yeah.
understand. 30, 40 years ago, get over it type thing. Let it go. Not the death. Okay, don't let the death go. Don't. I'm not gonna say that. But get over it. Pick a different song and tune. Move on. But it's always F WWE. I hope WWE loses.
Yeah.
Even when he was interviewed recently about how do you feel about Triple H taking over, well, he can't do as bad of a job as Vince, but it's still gonna be a terrible program. Like, dude,
Can he do worse? Maybe. Can he do better? I think so.
I don't know. Like, bar's pretty low on.
His his vision, I think, is a lot better than
We're only two
a lot
months
of
in.
people think.
We're only two
So,
months in.
but I do think the Clash at the Castle or whatever that horribly named pay per view
Clash of Castle.
was
Yeah.
his way to kill a lot of storylines.
Oh, he had
to
to.
start fresh.
He had to.
And I'm excited to see what the new year brings because this is, I think, going into the end of the year is this cleanup time, and Royal Rumble moving into WrestleMania is going to be the time when he shines, and I really hope that happens.
I think we'll get a little taste.
Oh yeah.
I think we'll get a little taste when it comes to like Survivor Series because that's in November, so we still
That's
have
a big one.
We still have a couple months away. Pretty much all the Vince storylines are dead, with the exception of Judgment Day, and Edge, and Judgment Day and Mysterio's, which I really wish that one would just fucking die. But he's done a very good job of like instead of just doing how Vince normally would kill a storyline, which is stop airing
It's
it.
over.
Like there's no closure. It's just
poof. Yep. That never happened. It's over with.
And like at least Triple H is giving a closure to a degree. I think Survivor Series, the storyline we're gonna see, or we are starting to see this past Monday, leading up to Survivor Series, will be like the first minor indication of what Triple H wants to bring, and then I think then Royal Rumble we'll see a little bit more of his vision, and then I think come WrestleMania we'll have a pretty good picture of what like where this company's going or what they're trying to do. But I think we have to unfortunately give it till WrestleMania before he truly just gets to go crazy. Because at WrestleMania, slate's clean. Everybody's storylines are over. Hopefully they don't do this freaking backlash WrestleMania revenge shit pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Like, just stop it. Ugh. I hate the backlash pay-per-view because it's just WrestleMania.
I just think it'll be interesting to the point of what point does he start to elevate the company and get out of the stagnant state that they've been in for a while.
They already have. What, they're 3-4 weeks, I think, into having over 2 million viewerships on Raw, which Vince has not done in years of having consistent week after week after week, 2 million plus viewership. Like he's doing something right, and the fact that the women's division is finally getting proper notice and this tag team is getting proper notice rather than just being here's another title.
Which is, I mean, it's got to happen at some point. The women's division has to get pushed
But that's the
in
thing.
the right degree with the right people, not
It was
including
set.
Flair.
Yeah, it was set to like Flair, Lynch, Sasha, and Bailey. The four horsemen, they were supposed to like, or horsewomen, whatever they called them. They were supposed to be like the revolution of the women's division, and Stephanie was in charge of it, and she was allowed to kind of ease into it. They had the Maya Young pay per view, which was an all exclusive women's pay per view,
Yeah.
and again, Vince came in and said, done with that. That was one of your highest grossing pay per views that year. No, fuck it, we're done. Like Stephanie was, and keep in mind she's the daughter of Vince. She was one hand behind her back from there on out. And then Vince was like, "Oh no, we need to push Flair because Flair." Cool.
Which, I mean, I see that, but you have to also understand that she's not that great. In my opinion, and I
Fight
believe
me.
yours as well.
Fight me.
She's not that good, but she's not horrible. She's not the
No.
worst one by any means.
She's.
I mean, she's better than Rousey.
I will say
by
she's a
landslide.
She's a mid card. I would say she's a mid card. I cannot give her a top card because like
I could put her in top card. I think
I can't. I think Sasha's a better wrestler. I think Bailey, as much as I don't like her, is a better wrestler.
I like Bailey.
I think I don't like her. I don't like her as a heel. And I don't mean that as like I don't like the Miz
Her
as a
wrestling
heel.
style
I
I like, and her mic skills are good. Her wrestling style is good.
It's good, yeah.
Flair's mic is annoying.
No, it's
Her wrestling
it's
style
so poor
is
because
basic.
her mic skills are so poor, and I will defend that by simply saying she doesn't have to be good at it. She's never been forced to be good at it. No one's truly challenged her, especially with again Vince era. Everything was very scripted, with the exception of like Cena and The Rock, where they were allowed to go off script a bit
Because they could.
Yeah, they were very well scripted episodes. It was more soap opera than it was wrestling.
That's when it was good.
But like Flair's just one of those like she could literally just say the most heinous stupid shit and Vince would still push it because Flair. The name Flair draws so much. I don't think it draws as much anymore because I think people are officially fed up after 7 or 8 poor ass excuses as a women's champion where she should have put over so many people and just given them like a little bit more limelight, give them a better chance, even if it was strip them of the title later on. Just no.
Yeah,
Flair
so
just steamrolled everybody. There's no one better than Flair. There's no one as high caliber as Flair. Yeah, that's because it's kind of what you did with so many other wrestlers. You blew them down our throats so much that was like whatever.
Yeah.
You're not even that good.
No. So I don't know. I mean, there's train wrecks and then there's decent wrestlers, and the women's division has potential for sure. Definitely, there's plenty of potential.
They just
in women's division.
They cannot rely on Flair though. That's gotta be the biggest thing.
No, hell no. I don't think To be honest, their strongest ones are. I mean, Becky Lynch is one.
Mm-hmm.
I think Bailey coming in the way she is could be one. Is it what's her name? I always want to say Asuka. Is it
Asuka?
What's that?
Asuka.
Asuka, yes. I think she's another one. It's I go by the way it's spelled. She's another one that I think is underused. That could be another one like Shinsuke.
And got screwed. She was undefeated for her entire NXT run. She was undefeated. And then again, we're going to have Flair defeat her. Why? Why? That was such a stupid accomplishment to give to Flair. She doesn't need it. She was already very well established. She didn't need it. Asuka should have, if she was to become defeated, it should have been, if anybody of the current roster should have been like Lynch, to then launch Lynch earlier into the top tier, but not Flair. Again, just like with Flair and Rhea and letting Flair win against Rhea Ripley and totally just demolish Rhea as a superstar, and you're just like, she's not good anymore because Flair just destroyed her for the NXT champion. Ooh.
No, and I would, to be honest, I would have no problem if Rhea was to blow through the entire women's division and own that
She,
because
she
she's a
has it
dominant force
in so
and
many
she
ways.
needs to.
So-
And I, I think, and I would have no problem with that.
No,
Seeing her do what she does.
she's fucking amazing. Like
Yeah.
she's good on the mic. She's an
Yep.
amazing wrestler. She has all the skill, the talent, and everything.
Yep.
But like Becky Lynch, Alexa Bliss is another one I would like. She was
Alexa's good.
underutilized, and she had her moments where she was pushed, but then got screwed or not as well used. But like she's another one. Bailey, as much as I hate her, she's better than fucking Flair. Uh, Raquel Rodriguez, she's a rookie, but she's fun to watch. Um, Asuka, Sasha, Naomi.
Asuka's got a faction coming, I think.
Naomi was so underutilized, so mistreated. I hope they let her join the bloodline. It makes sense. She's the wife of Jimmy or Jay. I forget which one. I want to say Jimmy. But
So does she become just a liaison at that point? Because she was for a little while with the Usos, and just
Usos.
kind of when they first came, when the Usos were kind of first starting out, she was
No,
there.
she was a Funkadactyl when
No,
she
I
first came
know.
on.
I mean, yes, but when the Usos were doing their whole when they first started to come out, she was come out with him as
Not
well.
not too much though. She was barely there because it was for the most part you just saw Usos. You didn't see Naomi too much unless there was a storyline to lead her
Yeah.
and to be a part of it. Um, but she like no, have her come in as part of the bloodline and force her to win a title, to win one of the women's title, and basically say not only do we have all the gold on the men's side, we
Yeah,
have
the women's side too.
all the gold in the company, and kind of just big middle finger.
Which
Because like
that would be
Solo Sika, he should win the IC or the US. To again, we have all the gold. If you want to build this bloodline up, you need to get enough people, family wise, to have all the gold and to basically hold the company captive at that point. But uh, no, I mean, there's not a whole lot of women, honestly, wrestling I can think of. Because they're all very well protected in NXT because Triple H didn't want them to go up to WWE.
Do you think
Rightfully
they
so.
ever? Do you think they ever take to the point where the bloodline holds every title and they bring the entire living bloodline out on TV and show The Rock, Rikishi, and all them with them showing all the
Mm,
titles for that one final bloodline run?
I would,
You know what I mean?
as
Like
much as I hate the bloodline, I would love to see that happen.
that would be kind of like the pinnacle, like the point of
But
okay, we've done everything we can for the Samoa
Samoa.
bloodline at this point. We own this whole thing, and now,
But the only way they could do something like that, though, is again, Naomi would have to come in for the women's side of the house,
mhm.
and Sasha would have to come in simply just as correlation or being with Naomi's, where they can capture the tag titles. But then they would need to get the Jacob Fatu that we were talking about earlier. He would have to
Yeah,
be drafted into WWE and have basically him and Solo get US and IC titles and um, oh man, it'd be such a stretch, but they could do something like that for WrestleMania and have it be Reigns versus The Rock. And if Rock loses, he has to acknowledge Reigns, and that's when the whole family comes out, and you see everyone from
you could have Fatu
to
also get the
yeah,
NXT title.
yeah. You could have everyone like Tamina. There we go. Have Tamina and Naomi come in because
Yeah,
Tamina's related to The Rock and Reigns, so they capture. She can have one of them have the women, the Raw. One can have SmackDown Women's Champion. Then whole tag team, and then you have IC US by the Fatu brothers, and then Usos has a tag team. Reigns has a Universal and heavyweight, and then literally just the whole family comes out. Superfly, if is he still around or did he pass away?
I think he's still alive because he was just trying to get convicted for murder.
That's right. That's right.
But I don't think
Like,
Tamina will ever come back to WWE because how mistreated she was.
I think she could. I think with Triple H being in charge, he's such a game changer. Because we're seeing like Braun
Yes,
Strowman said he's never coming back, and he's back. He's back. Then you have uh, Johnny Gargano. So I'm taking a break from wrestling forever. I'm retiring. He's back. I think we'll see Aleister Black come back too in 90 days. I think he'll come back and do that.
Snuka died in 17.
Huh?
Snuka died in 2017.
I was like, I didn't think he was around, but I remember the murder charge popping up on a documentary that I watched.
Yeah, now Snuka died. Yeah, that's right. Snuka's not
So-
around anymore.
So, but I mean, that I would love for all that to happen. Just have the bloodline reunite and literally just The Rock loses to establish Reigns as the top face of the WWE. That now he's beat the likes of Cena and The Rock, and
That's
now
a huge that's a huge thing for like The Rock to lose that to acknowledge him to pass.
that would be, even though Reigns doesn't have much longer in WWE, have The Rock lose and build up this whole thing, because Rock can do everything via social media. He doesn't need to be present. He could literally just feud via social media like he did with Cena,
Yeah,
and it would still be enough that people would tune in instantly to see this happening. Everyone's going to think The Rock wins because he won against Cena at WrestleMania. So why would he not win against against Reigns? And then just to be like, oh, surprise! And then you see Reigns' father and grandfather come out, present him with that necklace again, and literally just the whole Samoan dynasty family comes out, and that's how WrestleMania ends. Like, just ends. That would be such a perfect cap to the bloodline, and to also, they could do at that point too, where Solo kind of gets upset the next nights, or Jimmy and Jay get upset with Reigns the next night because they helped him win, or however Rock loses, and then be like, this is bullshit, and they could start the divide of the bloodline.
yeah. I don't know. That'd be a tough one to kind of give up because I don't know if I could see The Rock giving it up and saying that because it still kind of goes against his character.
I could see him doing it because he's made mention that he has no problem putting Reigns over and trying to get him more over with the fans, but
It's also tarnishing his, in a way. You know what I mean? It's like
yeah.
it's kind of like
But The Rock is also old.
I mean, he's old, yes, but he's still in hella shape to come back and do what he does.
So I'm gonna prove a point. Do you remember Rock versus Bray Wyatt? Okay, so The Rock can afford to lose.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying he can't afford to lose.
But I mean, like, he could lose to Reigns and not have it tarnish. And honestly, what it would do is almost strengthen the bloodline in the Samoan dynasty. So, they could. Here's a twist. They could do something like that, and The Rock's oldest is either training for WWE or has been signed to WWE.
She's in.
So she could play a factor. But again, we're at this point we're like grasping for straws. But
Yeah.
she could play a factor and being the reason why The Rock comes back to face
Oh,
Reigns.
I mean, yeah, we're looking for anything we can,
Yeah.
the whole bloodline tie-in to try and get like the whole pinnacle of the
Yeah.
bloodline to get them all on stage at the same time with every title.
Yeah.
Which is, I believe, has never happened of anything in the manner of like
No.
one faction owning every single
No.
title.
But if they were to do it,
I mean,
right now would
I
be
think
the
it'd be
perfect
cool.
time because it's AEW versus WWE. So why not say, look, we have the most dominant force here on WWE. No promotion can compete with us.
Mhm.
And then you're gonna start pissing people off in AEW, and even then open the forbidden door at that point. Like, come and challenge the bloodline.
Yeah.
So
You know.
I will say this though, talking about that forbidden door. This is the only reason why I don't think it will ever happen.
Yes, you will.
Solely because For the Forbidden Door to be open, it would prove a few things that the promotion that's being aired, that guy will win. So if it's, for example, let's say Moxley comes over and faces Reigns, and it's a WWE Monday Night Raw, SmackDown, pay per view, whatever. Reigns is gonna win. But if Reigns goes over to AEW and faces Moxley, Moxley would win. Because why would they put over the others promotions guys? That would be stupid. So
I mean,
that
yes, but you could also look at it as okay, they came into our house, beat us.
Yeah, they could do
what
the
do
whole
we do to
invasion.
follow up? Yeah.
They could do that, but like, I with today's day and age of social media, this is why I'm saying it's like I don't see someone's. I don't even see Triple H of all people who would let it slide, unless it was a ex WWE guy of okay, well Jericho came in, beat Reigns, cool. Well Jericho's only so good because he was a WWE guy first. Okay,
his
cool.
background.
Solidified. Moxley could come in and do it, but they couldn't have like MJF.
Kenny
basically.
Omega.
Yeah, nope. Bucks, nope.
No,
Because it would
guys
fuck
that have never stepped foot in a WWE ring
to
at
wrestle.
all.
Yeah, it would like
Yeah,
and then you also have the fact of it. It would draw. You would definitely see who's more popular, and I don't think either one of them's willing to risk that to their ego. Oh shit, we lost Moxley or Jericho. Say Jericho wrestles WWE again, or like Forbidden Door. He comes over and he wrestles the WWE guy. Jericho gets a huge pop, and you're hearing Y2J chants and everything. And people all of a sudden start going, oh, well, he's so good. They let him be so much different over here, whatever. And now AEW kind of took a hit because he's more popular with the WWE crowd than he is with the AEW crowd. So now the AEW just took a little hit to the ego of, oh shit, he's more liked in the WWE promotion than the AEW promotion.
What does Kenny Omega right now hold in the AEW?
Nothing now.
Nothing. I'm sorry. You take Kenny. Take Kenny Omega.
He's a CEO or he's a CFO. He's an executive. There we go. He was an executive.
If you take Kenny Omega and you put him in a match with, say, Reigns, I mean, you're gonna get the blown up of Kenny Omega, and they're not gonna give two shits about Reigns. The fact that they're seeing Kenny Omega go against Reigns or anybody else in that company, they won't care because it's Kenny Omega.
Yeah,
I mean, the dude has built
a legacy.
His brand.
He's a legacy
in everything that he's done.
I don't think he's done Impact either.
No, he's been New Japan. He's done AEW and he's done
Luchadors, whatever that is, AAA or AA or that Luchador. Everything but Impact and WWE.
He wasn't. He never did Underground. I know that Lucha Underground. He didn't do that one, which was another one that was great that I wish was still going. That they tried to tie into Impact, but that one was great.
But
so just
you also have the fact of like Jericho. Omega will never wrestle in WWE, or sorry, if he wrestles in WWE, Forbidden Doors comes over because there is that rumor now that the Bucks and Omega are coming over. Bucks specifically, since they didn't sign a new contract with AEW. Omega is one of the very, 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 very few wrestlers whose finisher, the one-winged angel, is so heavily protected. He has gone after other people for trying to use it and letting people kick out. Nobody's allowed to kick out of the one-winged angel. And the one guy who did it on some indie circuit got freaking reamed like nobody's business when he let the guy kick out. Because nobody's ever kicked out of that move. Ever. Whereas, the spear has been kicked out of. The jackhammer has been kicked out. The chokeslam has been kicked out of. The powerbomb's been kicked out. Like, all the moves. Sweet Chin music's been ruined. But that's been kicked out of. It's now just a super kick.
It's a generic move at this point.
Yeah.
It's no longer a finisher. It's generic.
Everyone does it. The 5-star frog splash. Generic now. Yeah. So, Whereas One Wing Angel, no, he almost, I don't know if he owns like some protective rights to it, but he is so protective over it. He doesn't fuck with it. So
No.
I mean, I there's so many issues, underlying issues. I like I said, I don't think the Forbidden Door will ever open because of things like that.
Yes. So I mean, it'll be.
There's more, but like I'm just getting to the point where it's like, oh, I'm gonna keep repeating myself because it all ties back to basically an
It does.
ego or a protected move or whatever. So,
Yeah.
but who knows? You never really know until it comes out, and we won't really know what Triple H is.
You can only predict.
I don't want to say
or try and
intentions, but
predict.
yeah, because like even with like Dave Meltzer, who honestly him and who's the other guy? God damn it, used to be WWE. He's annoying as fuck now too. Can't think of his name.
See, we're great at names right now.
Well, he's very outspoken about the wrestling community, and a lot of people just do not like Cornette. Jim Cornette. There we go.
Oh, Jim Cornette. Okay.
Those two really just need to kind of shut their fucking mouths because they're always like,
I mean,
AEW's gonna
Cornette-
do this, WWE's gonna do this, and Cornette's just fucking stupid at this point.
Cornette has been around. Cornette has seen plenty. Cornette. I mean, Cornette.
But
He knows. That's another manager we didn't even bring up.
But he's so
Also-
stuck in his ways. Like he's so stuck in the '90s.
But I mean, also was he not another manager? We didn't even mention him. Another great manager in himself. In what he did, he was great in what he did.
I didn't think he was
Hands
that great.
down. I mean,
Compared
that
to
was great.
others, yes, he's good.
I mean,
I
he
won't get
carried a
him.
fucking tennis racket, but whatever.
But Bob Backlund was another manager we forgot.
Bob Backlund.
He was a manager for who was Titus O'Neil's partner, skinny guy, high flyer, first wrestler to come out openly. God damn it, I can see his face too. He was a manager though.
I don't know Backlund. Okay,
God damn
I
it!
don't remember that one.
This wrestler was part of the Nexus faction.
I have no clue.
He partnered up with Titus.
We're so good at names.
I know.
That's the good thing about us.
I'm so glad we do podcasts where we get.
If you guys do need names, just come to us because we'll give you everything you need. I already forgot the guy's name that I fucking talked about earlier. Bill DeMott. Bill DeMott. Yeah, see, I remember.
Darren Young. There we go. Bob Backlund managed Darren Young for a little bit.
But Bob Backlund sucked.
I'm not questioning.
I'll say it.
He's better than. I will say he's better as a manager than Jim Cornette. I don't like Jim Cornette though. I don't even mean that like I don't like the Miz. I mean I don't like Jim Cornette.
That's probably because you hated Jim Cornette just because of how he was.
No, like I don't think he's good in any perspective. And now that he's in his older years and he's very much like Bret Hart. While he can say some positive things, he's so like you can tell he's stuck in his ways of if I was running this, well, you've tried.
Oh yeah.
And you sucked. And hell,
also,
even Tony Khan took a dig at him of saying, "Oh, we got a feeling what like Cornette's promotion normally feels like after losing to on the Monday night or Wednesday night wars, whatever." He's like, "We finally got a taste of that medicine. We didn't like that." Like,
yeah, we forgot Eric Bischoff also.
Oh, we did him dirty. Oh, I'm so sorry.
I mean, one of the biggest ones, in my opinion.
But so here's the reason why I'm going to justify why I forgot. I'm going to justify.
I forgot about WCW, to be honest.
No, you didn't. You mentioned like a dozen times here. Bill McDermott.
I did.
Who's a WCW guy? Who's?
Well, that was just
say
he's not.
You said.
He wasn't a manager.
I don't care.
We're talking about high flyers, and I compared him to Otis.
I don't care. You mentioned WCW.
Yeah,
Scott
go
Hall.
on with your bullshit now.
Anyways, no.
Yeah. Okay. Diamond Dallas Page, great manager. Go on.
I said no. Scott Hall, but yeah, but no. DDP was a good manager too. No. Eric Bischoff. Eric Bischoff. I think this is why I forget though, is because I don't remember him as a manager. I remember him as a GM, or as like the runner of WCW. I don't like his legacy to me is not a manager. It's always he did spectacular as the Raw GM when he got to run the show. Not his current run where him and Heyman were put in charge and then Vince just said fuck you guys and Bischoff kind of didn't show up at all. But his proper run, like I don't think of Bischoff as a manager role. I think of him mostly as the GM side of the house. But yes, you are right. Bischoff was an amazing manager, and he could come back, and he could be an amazing manager too, or at least teach the younger managers. But in order, again,
he's done with everything.
Well, yeah, but in order for
he's got his podcast, he's done.
But to kind of piggyback, like WWE and AEW, both of them do need proper managers. Enough said. Kind of recap basically. Flair needs to stop. Needs to stop being shoved down our throat. Bloodline needs to have this epic reunion of the family or epic story to go down. Managers, we suck at names, so I'm sorry.
Yeah.
He sucks at names. It's contagious.
You suck. Names.
You can't
what?
prove that.
Yes.
You suck, donkey dick. But yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what WWE does with Triple H, and now that Triple H is in charge, it'll be interesting to see where Tony Khan goes with AEW now that WWE is really a competition now, whereas before it's starting to become a joke underneath Vince. So those two promotions, it's going to be interesting in the next year alone, let alone the next 5 to 10 years. So just my thoughts, and unless you have something to disagree with me on. Either way, your opinion doesn't matter, but
it doesn't matter. I don't know. It'll be interesting. It'll be fun. Hopefully, one doesn't fold in the next 5.
No, I don't see either one. I don't see it'd be AEW if anybody, but I don't see them folding. I don't think we'll get an invasion or territory war like we did with WCW and WWE. But I think we will get some type of television war between the two of them soon. But yeah, that's really I got for this episode, though. I didn't even know we were gonna do wrestling, honestly. But
I didn't either. It just kind of happened, and I took us to it.
To be fair, we really don't know what we're gonna talk about most of the time. Until we pop on. One of these days, we'll show you guys like a behind the scene of like us prepping.
I don't want to. No, there's no need for that shit show.
And then you're gonna see us hop on and be like, "Oh my god, there's no prep. You're right."
So unfollow, unsubscribe. I want nothing to do with these guys.
They're weird. Yes.
You knew that from the beginning. If you watch us or listening to us from episode 1, you knew we're damaged. Weird.
You knew what you were getting into. Exactly.
Yes. It's a very unorthodox style that we do, and that's what we like. So fucking deal with it.
It's fucking random. Like
this.
That's but that also that's personally what I like about our podcast, the fact that it is fucking random as hell, and we're just like, what are we talking? Like, we don't know. Like, we don't talk to each other about, hey, what do you want to do on this podcast? Hey, should we talk? No. I just made the website like a few days ago and told Rahgel, and I was like, hey, this stuff.
I gotta update it still. I mean, and we talk like maybe 1 or 2 days a week, if that, and it's only like for like 5 minutes, if that.
Yeah.
So we do talk. Updates. We have a direction on a 6-lane highway that's going to probably a 12-lane highway.
It's like a toddler connecting the dots.
Yeah, exactly. So it only goes in circles with diagonals and straight lines.
So yeah, you knew what you're getting into, but stay tuned. It's gonna be a fuck show. It's amazing. I promise. We have lots of stuff to go.
We're back next week.
We will. That is something new.
Yes,
we are now back or not back. Shouldn't say that. We've never been to. We are now switching. We are now switching. Every Friday, you can catch a new episode of Two Guys One Gamepad, and every Friday you can catch a new episode anywhere you get your podcasts. My brain's like a hamster on crack right now. Every Friday. new episode. Anywhere you
New
get your
game?
podcasts.
Yes, things are happening.
Every Wednesday, you can watch the video edition of the podcast every Wednesday after that Friday of that podcast. And then we are trying to do, starting with tonight, to do a YouTube exclusive content as well. So after this video, we will be recording a video only, which can be found on Two Guys One Gamepad's YouTube channel, and we will be doing the one chip challenge like we talked at the top of the hour, top of the show, not the hour. It's been 2 hours. So we're gonna do that, and that's
many hours ago.
Yeah, many hours ago. He called me sexy. It distracted me. But that is our game plan, and I don't know about Rahgel. I'm gonna be completely transparent. So Friday, new podcast episode. Wednesday, new video podcast episode with YouTube exclusive. And it's gonna be random things from the hot chips to the hot gummy bear I still have. Don't know what we're gonna do with that yet. I have one. He doesn't. We still have 3 or 4 more weird ass sodas to do. I
have 2 left.
I have a 6-pack. Whatever. We're gonna try to do gaming into it, so maybe we'll do a gaming session as our YouTube. Sky's the limit. If you want input or you want
to give input, please go to the website and put your input there and give us what you want to see, want to hear, want to find out about us too.
And on that website, you can also, if you want to be part of the show, you're welcome to be part of the show. Just fill out the form on twoguysonegapad.com. And if you're a business and you want us to sponsor something or try something, beta test, whatever, it's all there. Go to the website. It's all there. Recap, Friday, new podcast episodes. Wednesday, YouTube exclusive episodes. And go to the website for all the forms and all the extra stuff that we're not going to necessarily talk about on the podcast. We're going to develop this website as much as I possibly can with as much help from Rahgel as possible.
I'll do better.
And we're going to try to get good at social media again with Two Guys One Gamepad, because we've been dusty on that.
We'll do things.
So come check us out. We're gonna head out. We're gonna go do the YouTube exclusive one chip challenge. Again, check it out. Wednesday, September 21st. You'll be able to catch it over there. Other than that, Rahgel, you got anything, you beautiful fucker?
No, just check out the YouTube exclusive because it's gonna get painful. Until next week.
My wife says she's not calling 911, so I better not be a punk ass.
You're gonna look like Blue Smurf.
So there we go.
It's gonna be fun.
Encouragement.
I'm gonna die.
Wife.
I have to pee in my mouth. No, that's jellyfish. Never mind. It's a myth. Don't do that. That doesn't work.
Anyways, we're done. I hope you all have a wonderful night, and we'll catch you next Friday on another episode of Two Guys One Gamepad. My name is Sig. Have a great night, everyone.
Peace.